Rotterdam traffic, Osprey 117, going to be stand Bravo 3, taxiing via November Victor, runway 24.
Good afternoon, everybody, and a very warm welcome to Rotterdam, Echo Hotel Romeo Delta for the 4-letter code. And we've got the RDPresets Rotterdam scenery, which is available for Microsoft Flight Simulator. The links are in the description down below, and of course it's a really good replacement of the one that's included inside MSFS by default, handmade scenery. Which is, of course, also goes without saying, needs to be deleted and uninstalled if you purchase this scenery and add it into your arsenal of aircraft environments, your airports. Very nice scenery though for Rotterdam here from the team at RDPresets. Really nicely created, and it is pea soup, pretty much about 200 foot above the runway here today too. Good day to David Badger, David Bartley, as well as David L. Gav, Doctor on Board, the Night Shepherd. Welcome, folks. Hope you're well. It's another pre-night shift stream today. Starting work tonight. Oh, there's a headwind A330. It's just a bit. Not sure they're going to get into Salzburg, but hey ho. Hello to everyone else in the live chat as well. It's great to have you all with us. Don't forget throughout today to hit the like button and the subscribe button down below. And come and say hello in the live chat if you are perhaps brand new to the channel as well. Look at that. Great bit of scenery work here. MSFS pilot. Yeah, this is VATSIM, and thanks for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. That's some really good texture work. Now, I'm not sure if there's there's elements of an interior here. Let's just bust through. I don't think there'll be much of an interior through the centre, but we can investigate. There we go. So we go all the way through to the outside. Again, I mean, an interior can be done very well indeed, but is it necessary? Not always. So as long as it looks good from the outside, personally, I'm quite happy. Every now and again, though, a scenery with a great interior will blow me away. Zeki Designs, for example, with their DSA, beautiful airport scenery there. It's quite vast. They've done the exterior areas of the airport, off in the distance as well, a couple of sort of local houses and things. John, hello to you, welcome. MFS pilot, of course, if you're confident with VATSIM and you can speak to the controllers and file the correct routes and things, then of course. But if not, I'd probably advise skipping it until you're a little bit more confident. That said, Jay actually flies offline alongside us on Valanta. Not a bad bit of scenery, right? Every now and again, a little stutter. Phantom, hello. Badger, welcome. And Yoep, how'd you do? Couple of Osprey, but there we are in green on stand Charlie 2. The Transavia ops today to Salzburg, DigitalDesign Salzburg. And time permitting, we will be flying back as well. So we're not going to hang around too long on the grounds. Look at these. The apron textures are wonderful here. Remarkably good. Did you spot the funny accent people yet? Oh, where are they? Here we are. Oh, fantastic. I do love the 737. Still waiting for the 600 variant, of course, as well from PMDG. That's coming soon. Hoping to be able to preview that for at least a couple of days prior to it being released, to get you all excited, whet the appetite as well, show you guys what it has to offer basically. And then into August we'll be thinking about the 800, which a lot of people are waiting for as well, everywhere in Rotterdam. Let's dive in. We could probably clear the steps. Now actually I've cleared a lot of this already. We've got all the way through to the APU being on and powering the aircraft, so we're off generator, external generator stuff as well. We've got the old funky Twitcher line there as well, and our V-speed's already generated. So that's how far we are ahead in our pre-flight planning and things, just because of my night shift looming upon me later on today. But we're going to depart runway 24, initially heading south, but we're actually going to be heading up to 500 foot or RD159, whichever the latest, and then we're going to turn right to head 077 degrees to RD163. Max speed of 230 knots in that turn there. So if we already look at the legs page, we can see that that is already input there too. So 230 knots is a constraint for RD207. And then we can accelerate away on this Lunix to Bravo departure. Lunix, make sure I write this down properly. 2 Bravo, runway 24. And there's Lunix in the middle here. And actually, when we get to RD163, I'm very likely to just go direct to Lunix and skip it out, because last time we flew this similar departure, it zapped across straight to there. Initial climb of 3,000. Higher level only when cleared by ATC, but we haven't got any, we're on Unicom, so we'll set 3. Once we're airborne, we'll wind it all the way up to our cruiser flight level 350. Landing in Salzburg, obviously it's a mountainous area. We're expecting runway 33, so a visual approach or a circling approach, very exciting. The landing altitude is actually 1,450. It's important we set that for the pressurization panel. Forward entry door's still open, so let's get that closed. Back down here. Up, down, up, down. How's everybody's week been so far? Of course, we're heading into the weekend. Ground services. So actually, we can just... Parking brake is set. Let's just remove the chocks. That's going to disconnect the ground power, get rid of that, and it's also going to remove the steps and everything as well. So, one button instead of a couple of buttons. Makes it nice and easy. Keeps things simple and kind of strips the checklist down. David, Miss Flying, were you guys out of town? No worries at all. Always next time. It's always enjoyable when you all like to fly along as well. Grant is next to us in the TUI jets. Howdy. Looking good. It's rather wet. Netherlands. MFS pilot. What's the flight plan? It's in Discord. David, yeah, maybe we're going to have to change the channel name to David Avgeeks. Awesome, David. Nice. Climb. Ooh, yeah, that's a point. We need to change that. Flight level 350. Something I overlooked a little earlier on. Job I've noticed it. 289 miles to top descent. Lovely stuff. Right. So we're pretty much ready. The transponder is on.
Rotterdam traffic, Osprey 117, airborne climbing through.
So we don't need to think about pushback because we're on these cool stands at Rotterdam that you just taxi straight out. And actually, if you notice, we don't have a tug. So on the Asobo version of Rotterdam's scenery, we have a tug in the way. And this is one of the things that I really like about this scenery. The developers thought about that because it's not realistic. Because it's a drive in, drive out kind of stand here at Rotterdam. So what they've done is they've managed to remove the tugs. Very clever. Certainly adds to the realism as well. So great work by RDPreset. Anti-collision lights, let's whack her on. Bumps are on as required, and actually we should probably revert to the checklist just to make sure we've got everything done. So takeoff data set, cruise altitude, landing altitude, pressure panels set, MCP set, flight directors are on, radio set, ground equipment's clear, chocks are removed, anti-collision light on. So fuel pumps on as required, packs go off, 1 and 2, ignition mode selector set both, and engine 2 ground. Nubrix, hello. Certainly is. We're going to be straight into IMC, pretty much gear up, I think. Straight into this cloud. The METAR, at the moment, 250 degrees at 9 knots for the wind, a variable between 220 and 290. All the 9s, light drizzle, broken cloud at 3,600, overcast at 4,000 feet. temperatures 17 degrees, dew point 10 degrees Celsius, QNH 1017, and reduced temporary visibility of 7,000 meters in light showers and rain. Few clouds at 2,200 feet cumulonimbus, which is what's overhead at the moment. Engine 1 ground. MFS pilot, you're most welcome. Grant says, add Mike's PMDG worn cockpit texture, it's quite nice. Yeah, it does look very nice, but then I've always preferred that cleaner look, gotta say. Tidy plane, tidy mind. Yeah, I much prefer the sort of this cleaner, smoother look. You appreciate the beauty of the aeroplane a bit more, I think, then. At least that's my opinion. But a lot of people enjoying the Mike's texture worn cockpit mod at the moment too. Each to their own. Beauty is that we have these options, so we can all choose to create very nice sim experience, which is individual to everybody. Right, that's done. That's also clicked and reset. Gen 2, Gen 1. Check it in the overhead. Lovely stuff. Probe heats, both on. Warning lights off. Anti-ice as required. We don't really need any at the moment. Packs both go to auto. Recirc fan auto. Isolation valve auto. Duct pressure's just moved and wiggled. APU goes off. Bleed first, and then the APU master switch off. Taxi lights on. Let's pop the logo light on as well because it looks juicy. White. There we are. Look at that. Looks great, sounds great. Let's get those flaps deployed. 1, 2, 3. Where is my charts for the ground? Rotterdam traffic, Transavia 35 Yankee at stand Charlie 2, QNH 1017, taxi to hold point Victor 6, runway 24 via the apron, and Quebec and Victor. Actually not Quebec, just Victor. Okay, also auto brake RTO, let's do a quick left and right of the rudders. Full right on the stick, full left on the stick. Fully back, and I'm steering as I do this as well. That's our flight control checks done. Let's clear the bottom screen. Just reset the auto brake because it's showing a failure at the moment. There we go, it's reset and it's left itself. Go to November. Also, the ground textures here are really nice. This is the first time checking out this scenery here at Rotterdam. And actually they've done an exceptionally nice job with it as well. Ignition modes, start switches go to continuous in this. We've got auto ignition off. So that's a really important step that we don't miss. And also what we want is, we've got to set that elevator trim. Engine instruments have been checked. LNAV, VNAV needs to be armed as required. Both the flight directors are already on and auto throttle goes arm. And then the rest goes at the hold. Oh, blue, fantastic. We're expecting, the weather's certainly looking on track for it, but we're expecting the RNAV into a visual approach runway 33. Where did he come from? No idea. Have you experienced the bug where heading select button remains illuminated even with LNAV selected and LNAV button illuminated? In the 737, I can't say I have, no. I'll keep my eye out for it in case I do one day, but no, certainly not had that problem yet, touch wood. Badger's just had wind shear. Fantastic. You had the actual wind shear warning come up as well. Got traffic on. Hop terrain on. Let's get this onto TARA. It'll go to TA only mode for the first section till we're airborne at least above a certain height. There's John.
Taxi apron via Victor, holding point Victor 5 for runway 24, Rotterdam traffic.
Badger, awesome. Very, very cool. So initially, most likely to be hand flying this this first part of the departure. With that in mind, I'm going to set the 5 nautical mile radius on the nav display here, so we can follow the magenta line. Basically, we'll be flying and following the flight directors throughout. We're going to be in IMC, although actually the weather seems to have lifted somewhat, which is nice. Colin, welcome. Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? Really good scenery.
Rotterdam traffic, LM 70 Alpha, going to 626 point, runway 24.
Didn't realise I was old enough to go to the doctor for the glove. Oh, those of you of age certainly know what I mean. Gav, thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate the super chat.
Rotterdam traffic.
Set that.
Sunjet November 7,
130, 124 for V rotate.
Taxi to runway 24.
So, with my night shift coming, well, got to leave the house about 5:30 or so. Effectively, at Salzburg, I usually would spot all the landings, but what we're going to be doing is just focusing on getting a nice, quick, rapid turnaround, and then we'll be pushing back to head back here to Rotterdam. So I'm going to try and squeeze a second leg in today, which is why it's a little bit quick, but it means we can get 2 sectors in on a pre-night shift stream, which is hog, as they say. Gav, really appreciate all the generosity there. Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate the super chat, supporting the stream. Generous as always. Aircraft behind's in the old Transavia logo, or paint scheme. We've been listening on Unicom for people to call up to say that they are inbound, but they haven't heard anything. So we'll put the strobes and everything on. We'll leave the logo lights on. Actually, I'll put the wing lights on as well through the cloud for icing checks. Taxi lights off, runway turn-off lights on, landing lights on. Fuel flow reset rate. We've done traffic, we've done terrain, and transponders on TARA. So that is our pre-takeoff checks complete. Rotterdam traffic Transavia 35 Yankee is lining up runway 24 via Victor 6 and taking off Lunix 2 Bravo departure, Rotterdam traffic. Can't see anything inbound. While we've been taxiing parallel to the runway, we would see some lights and things as well. And we're going to do a rolling departure. Why not?
Alpha, holding short at Victor 6 runway 24.
So even though we're gobbling up runway here, it's a bit blurry on the brakes. As I was saying, even though we're gobbling up runway because we're not going to stop completely, spool the engines up. It's actually slightly more efficient to do it this way. Stick forward. Piece stable. Toga. Osprey 117 in the live chat, hopefully. Maintain the centre line through the variable winds. Accelerating rapidly here. Rotate.
Rotterdam traffic, transfer 70 Alpha, landing op runway 24 via the Livingston Ground for takeoff.
You're up. How cool does that look? We could, actually, we're over 1,000 feet. Let's go to CMDA on. Order brake off. Engine start switches go to the off position, 1 and 2. Runway turn off lights off. Gear lever set off. And we're watching our flap retraction speeds. We're at 3,000 already, so let's keep the climb. Let's wind it all the way up to 350, why not? Done. Keep smashing those like buttons while you're here as well, folks. Laggy, not for me. Seemed okay on my end. Through transition already, so standard pressure. Onto gaming, welcome aboard. Thanks for tuning in for us today. Washington Playing Ball, welcome. Once a controller, always a controller. Absolutely. Love it. Peter, good afternoon to you as well, welcome. So we're turning right 177 degrees at the moment. We're going to be heading out away from Rotterdam, which is now going to be pretty much behind us and below. There it is. Alexander, welcome. Blue, thank you very much, buddy. As we climb away. This rather cool looking Transavia livery. Bunchen radar online. Awesome stuff. Love it. Let's see. Let's do a direct 2, shall we? So it's a requested thing. Somebody, in fact, yesterday, Neil, aka Bacon Sani in Discord, was asking how to do a direct 2. So if I'm going to do a direct 2 Lunix here, for example, what we'll do is we'll select it in the scratch pad. It's in the bottom there, and then we select the very top leg. So page 1, very top. There we go.
For the Looney Tunes departure from my 24. Rotterdam traffic.
Transavia 35 Yankee direct Lunix or Looney Tunes. Flaps up no green, and we're going to check our pressurization panel up here as well. Steve, that's a very good question. So it depends upon your settings inside the aircraft. Through 10,000 already, wowzers. Let's get that off. Let's pop the wing lights off as well. Yeah, it depends on. It depends entirely on what you have set up in your PMDG options in relation to the auto throttle modes. So one of the settings allows you to actually, with auto throttle on, it completely disables your throttles, so you can wiggle them about and all that sort of stuff. Some of the other settings actually set it up so if you manually change the throttle position, it will dead cut it, kind of like what the Airbus does if you move it back from the climb gate. So it depends if you've got that manual override setting on or not. Avsim just joined as a channel member. Thank you, buddy. Welcome aboard. Whack this right up. So we're going direct Lunix now. We've kind of skipped a couple of waypoints because it takes us north all the way up there towards Amsterdam. We don't want that. Avsim's gone green. Only took you 2 years. Yes. Yes, indeed. No, it's great to have you with us. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. Popped 3 screenshots into Valanta already. Munchen radar's a little bit further on us as we approach the waypoint called Borep. If they remain online by that point. Doc, exact. One of us. One of us. Right, where are we? Alright, this is all looking really quite nice actually. It's working out beautifully so far. Great performance on this departure. We're quite light as well. Zero fuel weight was only 50.1 tonnes. Usually we depart about 53 or so. 53 to 55 or so tonnes. Oh yeah, check out what's in here for the livery, folks. How cool is that? They've added the little T's. In fact, let's go all the way to the front. Check out this cabin, shall we? Welcome to the green team, yes. So the link to this is in the description, as well as the RDPresets scenery and digital design scenery as well. Look at that, and the PMDG 737 is linked in the description for today's live stream too. And we zip around, look at this. Couple of texture issues in relation to the seats. I think what he's done here is he's obviously copied and pasted each of the textures, and it's just blurred further down the cabin, further up the cabin. But very nice to see a big sea of green seats. Now we've already got to think about really our arrival, because if we go to the descent page, we've got 348 nautical miles to go. Weather shouldn't really change too drastically in most places in the world, but mountainous regions it can switch. So what we're planning at the moment could change when we get a bit closer. We'll download our descent winds anyway. Anthony, hello. You reckon GSX is coming in the next few weeks? I know it's been a very, very long time coming. Not convinced it will be coming out that soon. I'd like to think it will, but I'm not so sure. Right. Let's snap over to Navigraph for a bit, shall we? So there's our little direct 2. We've gone from that point here straight out to Lunix. So we've cut out this little wiggly bit which takes us almost kind of towards and past Amsterdam Schiphol. We're expecting Baddie 1 Romeo arrival, which is this, via Baddie. So at or above 4,000, going out of German airspace, straight into Austrian airspace towards the airfield, because it's right on the edge of German airspace, Salzburg. We've got the VOR 1138, which is the initial approach fix for runway 15 according to the charts there. There's the airfield there, in fact. So potentially it means we've got to cross back into German airspace and back out, but with the weather as it is at the moment, we're looking at runway 33. So we're going to go from the Salzburg VOR, which is here, eastbound towards the hills, towards the mountains. Then we're going to fly down past the airport towards the mountains and round for a circling approach. So this is the RMP visual runway 33, and the minimums for this are almost 4,000 feet. There's another option, the RNAV Zulu runway 33 AR, and that's this. So this is actually coming in from the south, and it's weaving through the valley into the airfield, which is quite a cool one. But we will have to route very far away for that, therefore it doesn't really apply to our particular routing. So we would more likely look at the RMP Yankee runway 33 AR instead, via that Salzburg VOR, and then in. But that one's even more automated, and I kind of want to hand fly it depending on what the METAR says. And the METAR at the moment, the lows. Oh, okay. Well, that looks pretty nasty. The METAR in Salzburg at the moment, winds are 300 degrees at 13 knots, with a visibility of 6,000 meters in light rain and drizzle. View cloud at 800 feet, scattered 2,000, broken 3,200. With thunderstorms and rain, temporary 4,000 meters visibility, with scattered, even a nimbus at 2,000 feet. So I don't think we're going to be able to do the visual approach. I don't think we'll be able to do the circling approach, which is even more difficult, and with it even higher minimums. In fact, the minimums aren't even as high for that. Interesting. So it might have to be the RMP Yankee, because it's got the lower minimums. The RVR 1300, what's this one? Oh, that's 1300 as well. RVR 2600. I reckon we configure for the RMP visual Victor runway 33, and we'll see how we go. Or no, you know what? We'll configure for this, set up for this, which is the safest with the weather. Salzburg, and then inbound, following the LNAV and the VNAV all the way in. There's the minimums for this particular approach, and it's got the lower RVRs, which is pretty good. Let's pin that. Then when we get to Salzburg and Whiskey Sierra 833, if the weather allows, because the altitude constraints are still 5,000 for that, what we could do is fly the visual. So that's Whiskey Sierra 835. 834, which is also on here. So at Whiskey Sierra 834, we could, if the weather allows, turn the autopilot off and fly the manual approach, and then it will become this one. It will become the RMP Visual Runway 33 approach instead. A couple of things to bear in mind with this one though. At Whiskey Sierra 835, that's the missed approach point. Then we'd have to bug out and head back to the Salzburg VOR. The RMP Yankee, its missed approach, is overflying the airfield straight out to the Salzburg VOR. So yeah, certainly the safest approach here. And 1.5 is definitely out of limits, I think. Blue, yeah, we're going to be relying very much on this terrain map, I think, this time round. It's going to be interesting. QNH 1020. Oh, and the transition level is... we'll call it flight level 120 because of the pressure. There we go. So departure arrival, lows. We're going to do the RNAV Yankee runway 33. Oops. RNAV Yankee 33. Via Whiskey Sierra 831 transition, and the baddie 1 Romeo arrival, like so. And then we have to check the legs page. There's Badit 4000 at or above. SBG, then Whiskey Sierra 831. So we need to see what that looks like on our nav display. Just reset the heading bug here to keep things nice and accurate. Quite a decent crosswind we're battling today. So let's go to plan mode.
Lufthansa, please everyone, hello, is at 5,000 feet.
There we go. So SBG with a discontinuity to Whiskey Sierra 831. Thies, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. It's great to have you on board with us. Gab just got direct big ab. Are you on Munchen radar by any chance? Right, what are we doing here? So, Whiskey Sierra 831 SBG. What we can do is go, right, we'll click that, hit exec, and then you can see it kind of joins the two up there. But we don't need SBG in here, so what we're going to do is going to delete SBG. At or above 4,000, 240, 240, 5,000 at or above. Yeah, well through. Okay, yeah, but that makes sense. So delete that. Let's delete SBG. Done. Creates discontinuity. That's fine. So we select that one, and then we add it in to fill the gap, and then it all connects up a bit nicer. So we can step through. Air bag. Add it. Whiskey Sierra 831. There we go. We zoom out. That's what it's going to look like. One thing we can do to really help us as well is add some fixed rings in. Let's come off plan mode because we need to see where we're going and what's coming up. Zoom out. 4 rep in 160 miles. That is where we're going to be speaking to Munchen radar. So, descent, legs fix. So I'm actually going to add a 10-mile fixed ring around the Salzburg VOR because at 10 miles we'll be passing Whiskey Sierra 834, and at that point it's going to be a reminder for me as we cross that fixed ring threshold at 10 miles away from the VOR. It'll be a reminder to me that right at this point, if the weather is good, we can turn the autopilot off and fly it in ourselves. So SBG, Salzburg, which is that one, 1138, and we could do a distance of 10. What else could we use? I think Salzburg has an NDB, so taxi charts. Let's have a little look at some of these SIDs. Yeah, so we've got a Salzburg NDB 410, so we can go next page, SI, NDB Salzburg 410, lovely, and then we can put in a radial around that, so that's just the other side of the runway. It's only about 5 miles. And I'll do a 10-mile fixed ring as well. Bust that, we've gone too far basically. Blue saying the 737 is freaking amazing, can't stop flying it. Yeah, it is great, isn't it? It's lovely and immersive, beautifully detailed, looks fantastic, sounds great, flies well. Night Shepherd's looking forward to some more pea soup for the landing. First time flying into Salzburg in a very long time actually on the channel. Last time I did it, it was clear skies and rather nice weather. And that was in the fly-by-wire A32NX. We hand flew that, and obviously with the Airbus, with their fly-by-wire system, it's a little bit easier because you can set the angle of bank and the pitch, and then you can just let go of the controls and it will maintain that for you. Whereas in this aircraft, in the Boeing, you will have to maintain that yourself as the pilot if you're hand flying. Neil says you could do it from the threshold instead of the VOR, the fixed ring. You make a good point actually. I'll be honest, I can't exactly remember how to do that at this moment in time. Night Shepherd, well, you're in for a treat. There's a lot of mountains around, and also on this particular approach, if we stick with 3-3 as we're descending on the downwind leg, we're pretty much flying right up towards a hill as well, so we're going to have to take off the ground proximity stuff as well, the terrain inhibit mode. We have to activate that. It's going to be interesting. We're gonna have to look at some fuel calculations and stuff in a little while as well, just to make sure it's all tickety-boo. The return journey, by the way, it's telling us it wants me to fly at flight level 400, but I don't want to do 400. I want to do flight level 380. Yeah, Night Shepherd, certainly can. That's track FPA mode, isn't it? In the Airbus. It's a very smart mode. Just if you're hand flying in track FPA mode, remember to turn off the flight director, and then you get the actual aeroplane bug in the PFD, which is quite a smart Airbus feature. Another bit of admin we can do is tune some of these VORs just to help give us distance data and things. So we know Salzburg's 1138. So let's tune that. In fact, 1138, let's put it into nav2, because in ADF1 I want to put 410, which is the Salzburg NDB. Bingo. And that's just going to give us a few extra bits of data. So we can put ADF1 on, we can track VOR2. Lovely job. Zazo says, I feel like you don't get the 737 feeling in the 700, you get it in the 8 and the 9. I mean, they're pretty much the same aircraft, except for slight differences here and there with some of the systems and the weights and things, but I certainly feel like I get a very good experience with this 737. It's blown me over with how enjoyable I'm finding it, so it must be doing something right. Chowdhury, hello, welcome. Very good, thanks. Hope you're okay. Ethan Singh as well earlier on. Can't remember if I said hello to you in the live chat. Welcome. Hope you're well as well. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We're already a third of the way there. We've got the landing rate monitor fired up too, so we'll get our touchdown rating, although I couldn't set the 737 profile for it because it thought I was already airborne on the ground, bizarrely. Blue's never done the approach into 3-3. I've only ever done it once. In real life, those mountains look frighteningly close. You're going to have to turn that 737 into a fishbowl. Yeah, you know what? That's a very good way of describing this approach. It is like steering it through around a fishbowl. I don't know if I can show you on the charts, actually. Let me dig them out and see if I can find it. Emson, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you're in the background and you've not yet hit subscribe, please consider doing so. We are on the target chase for 20,000 subscribers, and then once we hit that, we'll be able to unlock an awesome giveaway on the channel. In fact, PMDG have been exceptionally generous, and they've given us 2 licenses to give away. So when we do get around to doing the 20,000 subscriber giveaway, once we hit the target, in addition to some gift cards that we've got to give away too. PMDG have given us the ability to have 2 winners win a license each, and they get to choose between the 737-700 or the 600, which is awesome. Very exciting giveaway. Chowdhury, very well, thanks. Good to hear. You probably have heard this said to you a million times, but I love your content. It's very useful, so useful, very fun to watch. You're most welcome. Great to hear. Always nice to hear you're enjoying the content. Keeps me nicely motivated for you guys as well. I appreciate it. Sakis, welcome to you as well, new to the channel. Avsim, first Phoenix flight today in the A320. Slammed a 600. It handles slightly differently to the fly-by-wire, doesn't it? I'm sure you'll agree now you've given it a go. It feels quite different. But how are you finding it? It's enjoyable, isn't it? Wonderfully simulated Airbus A320, I think. If I show you the circling 3-3 approach, you're basically flying the ILS, and then at the NDB you break off 125 degrees to head out, and you do this sort of like teardrop procedure, which is very tight indeed. This is the only one I've ever done here, but you're literally flying right up towards the hills here, and it is very close, very, very close, which is why they've got this very strict visual manoeuvring area, the only area you can actually fly it within. And it tells you do not overshoot. We're going to be flying in over this little blip here, this bit of terrain, 2,350 feet with a mast, and there's another mast at 2,201 there on a peak of 2,000 feet, a bit of terrain for us to avoid too. So again, quite complex flying into Salzburg with runway 33 in use. It's great if you're using RMP Zulu. You're coming in from the south or the southeast, because you fly in through the valley. It keeps you around the terrain, between the terrain, and then you fly in quite nicely. But these RMP visuals, from this point, Whiskey Sierra 835, it wants us to be at, it doesn't even tell us. Jesus. 3,000 feet? I'm going to say 3,000 feet. It basically leaves it up to you as the pilot to decide. 3980 for the minimums for that, which is actually, that's what it's going to be. So at that point, you're going to be basically at 4,000 feet on the local QNH, Whiskey Sierra 835. Is that the same with this? Whiskey Sierra 834, 5, yeah, it's about 4,000-ish there. And it gives you limited data, which adds to the complexity of it. But we'll say one of the waypoints is 4,000 feet. With things like this, you've kind of got to study the charts as much as you can during the cruise, and then kind of try and visualize it. So you've got to try and think ahead of the aeroplane and think, what's going to be around me? What do I need to consider? And you've got to look very carefully at the charts for things like the masts, the little bits of terrain peaks that you're going to be flying over. So they're all things that you need to consider, especially with low visibility. If you go ever so slightly left or right of where you're meant to be, especially on this approach, if you go slightly too far left, you will hit the mountain. Also, from memory, Salzburg is on a ridge like Innsbruck, so the downwind leg is a section that's slightly higher up than the airfield, so we end up very low to the terrain at that point as well on the downwind anyway. There is very little room for error with this. It's a great approach, it's good fun, very stressful though. 124050, oops. Chowdhury had a question: is the Salty 747-8 good for VATSIM? Would it do everything that's required? I'm used to the Airbus aircraft, so I want to give it a shot. So I'd probably say give it give it a good run, do a couple of sectors with it offline first, because it's very, very, very different to the Airbus. Not least because it's a Boeing, but in comparison to the progress of the Flyby A320X, it's very different. It's tough. It's a big change up, Chowdhury. So yeah, definitely fly it a few times offline to kind of learn the quirks of the aeroplane before taking it onto VATSIM. Dazzle, what's your favourite livery for the 800? You know what, I think the TUI liveries suit the 737-800 very well.
70 direct November Yankee 435 switch to the course.
Switch to the Golf, climb flight level 200.
Up to flight level 200, switch to the course.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Echo, descent level 100. Descending level 100, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Echo.
Avsim, good to see. Loving the Fenix A320. It needs to tempt you into the this wonderful 737. That's going to be our next mission. Contrails there on the left have just gone off the screen. Somebody flying behind.
Hello again, Lufthansa 667, climbing flight level 070.
Ah, Neil, gutted.
667, hello again, you are identified.
Is it an Orbit
You are not
A320?
flying on the SID at the moment, where are you turning to?
Lufthansa 667, I was turning over the VOR Mike November Echo, but I'm turning left now.
Yeah, so you programmed the wrong SID.
Yes, I did. I'm turning now.
667, turn left direct to Merci, climb flight level 190.
Climbing flight level 190, direct Merci.
What does it want us to be at? Whiskey Sierra 834, saying 5,000 there.
Sonst hätte ich dich ja auf Unicom schon geschickt.
I'm pretty sure we want to be at 4,000 at that point.
Alles klar. Hast noch gute 5 Minuten bei mir.
Smart links, wow. Jersey 2, hello, welcome.
Tunnel Echo, los, der Proof cleared Malle, Marem 5 Whiskey Departure.
Whiskey Sierra 836.
Fly plan route, squawk 2362.
It wants us at 2,948 at that point.
Tunnel Echo, reback right.
Okay.
Osprey 722, switch to Unicom, good afternoon.
I don't think that'll work.
Over to Unicom, good afternoon, next DOT, please. Alpine 73 Hotel Alpha, descent level 200.
Actually, no, it's the Yankee, so yeah, 834 is correct at 5,000. 833 at 5,000 as well. Yeah, that's correct. I'm trying to compare the differences between that and the visual approach, because the visual approach wants you at 4,000 feet. So it's something we've got to just consider and be conscious of nearer to our top of descent.
Right turn heading 170 for base Delta.
That's a 2-3 kilo, switch to Unicom, shoot.
Dog, yes. Absolutely.
090 Romeo, switch to Unicom, shoot.
Sounds like he's closing.
Vision radar, Osprey 117 with you, flight level 370.
Osprey 117, hello, what is your position?
Position, we are 41
Okay, welcome.
North mile from Moot.
And your destination is?
Night Shepherd, you didn't file a flight plan.
Ah, there you are. Please return to flight plan.
Munson radar, Swiss 1230, good day. Flight level 305, climbing level 340 over Beirut.
Delta Tango Mike, turn right direct Kusam.
Delta Tango Mike, right turn direct Kusam.
This 123 Zulu hello identified.
What was the METAR at 1220? So we should have a new METAR at Salzburg.
Squawk 1000, Osprey 117.
KLM 1355, switch to Unicom, goodbye.
Unicom KLM 1355, bye-bye.
Eurowings 22 Alpha, descent level 250.
Descent 250, Eurowings 22 Alpha.
Quality 581, switch to Unicom, goodbye.
Switch to Unicom, quality 581, thank you, ciao.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Echo, descent 5,000 feet, the QNH 1021.
Descending 5,000, QNH 1021.
Blue, so it's not an option in the FMS, it's a livery option. So you've got to...
Climbing flight level 310, Lufthansa 667.
Delta Tango Mike, 2 miles from Kozan, via Kozan, clear.
You've basically got to have a livery that will have either or. So depending on what livery you're using, it's going to be either with the split scimitar or the blended wings.
310 for
Night Shepherd, ATC is on fire. Yeah, you'll find Munchen radar, Langen radar. The German controllers are some of the best on VATSIM.
Eurowings 22 Alpha, expect 26 right.
Expect 26 right, Eurowings 22 Alpha.
Delta 54 Yankee, we're ready for descent.
This Tonga 1432, switch to Unicom now, shoot.
Switch to Unicom, thank you, sir.
The only thing with the winglets aren't an option in the MCDU, but everything else is. So it all depends on how the livery is created. Depends on whether or not the creator's allowed split scimitar or not.
Integrator, hello, Lufthansa 9 Mike, level 350 inbound Abflug.
9 Mike, sorry, identified. Proceed Armut, dann Delta Mike 438.
One ahead.
Lufthansa 9 Mike, kein Problem, Armut, Delta Mike 438 thereafter.
What are we, 80, 40, the 32 miles to Boret. I'll call him in about 10, I think, so we've got a couple of miles before we enter his airspace.
87, taxi via Mike and hotel to runway 22.
We've got our flight for the way back pre-planned and ready to go as well. We'll fire it up. Probably we've had 50 knot crosswind this whole way. We're kind of planning for a bit of a tailwind. Weather-wise, for landing, we've got to make sure we've got the correct data and put in place. And actually, if it's telling us rain and drizzle, temporary thunderstorms and rain, I think we're going to assume that the runway is going to be wet on runway 33. So we'll recalculate our landing performance, and it's telling us we're going to need order brake 3, lap 30, landing altitude of 1,450 feet, and an approach speed of around 131 knots.
Bravo India, Bravo Alpha Golf.
Let's say direct to Biwak Osprey 117.
It's 1020.
Continue present heading.
Top descents there.
Eurowings 22 Alpha, descent level 150.
We've got a little way to go before we actually reach top of descent.
Scandinavian 827, contact now Bremen 123225.
Contact Bremen 123225.
Got TCAS for an aircraft over that way. Can't see them though.
Lufthansa 60 Alpha, passing flight level 155 for 210.
60 Alpha low identified. Stop climb level 190 and squawk 1000.
Stop climb 190, squawk 1000, Lufthansa 60 Alpha.
Bavarian 67, descent level 310 to reach at Armut.
Just wait to call them up now.
Bavarian 67.
Delta Tango Mike is clear to land, 26 right, 290 degrees.
He's so busy.
Delta Tango Mike, clear to land on 26 right.
60 Alpha identified to waypoint 427 for 26 right.
Delta Mike 427, 26 right, 60 Alpha, danke.
Sensor 2 with the Echo, descent 4000 feet.
I can't get in.
Lufthansa 2 with the Echo.
Munchen radar, good Narben, Transavia 35 Yankee, flight level 350 inbound Boret.
Hello, Transavia 35 Yankee, you identified. Route direct to Ostes and New Squawk 2146.
Squawk 2146, direct Ostes, Transavia 35 Yankee.
München Radar, hallo.
What was the squawk? 2546.
Direct Amosa.
And Lima 61, guten Tag, identified. Squawk 2361.
God, I can't remember. You guys in the chat, let me know. What's the squawk?
61, Tango Lima 61.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Echo, left heading 350.
Left heading 350.
Many arrival flights into Salzburg in real life have been cancelled today.
During 29 Echo request pushback.
Einmal bitte Bremen 123225, bis später.
Nice little direct 2. 2546, was it 2516? 2146. Cheers, Alexander. Legend. Christopher, thank you. Blue, thank you. Perfect stuff. Glad you guys caught that. 2146. 214. Saga, thank you. Christopher, yeah, thank you guys. Let me know what the transponder code is there. I got it in my head. I think I read it back correctly, and then it just instantly went out of my short-term memory. How strange. Alberta, good morning.
Francis said, good afternoon, Squawk 1000.
1000 from 687 Whiskey.
Lufthansa 60 Alpha, descent level 110.
Descent level 110, Lufthansa 60 Alpha.
München,
good afternoon, Ryanair 2 November Romeo 2.
It's giving us a nice little shortcut.
Squawk 3477.
3477, Ryanair 2 November Romeo.
Friend 6 8 Whiskey Echo identified, direct
Look at this
Delta
thick,
Mike 427, descent
thick
level
cloud going on
210.
here.
Direct Delta Mike 47 and
It's
descent.
rather nice. Look at that very high,
100 and
high level, super high level cloud actually up here. Jesus, it's higher than we are.
Left heading to
That's incredible.
200 to Lufthansa 2 Echo Lima, no problem.
Friend 6 8 Whiskey Echo, descent level 210.
This guy is on full throttle. Love flying through German airspace on VATSIM.
Bremen 123.
They're always very talented. Alexander, we departed the RDPresets Rotterdam version 2 in MSFS, and we're heading to the DigitalDesign Salzburg.
With 2 to Golf, when ready, descent level 100.
Total level 100, 2 to go.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Echo, sorry, that's my bad. I'll give you the new letters for the approach, turn right, heading 030.
So if a lot of flights are being cancelled in real life into Salzburg, the weather must be horrendous. And we're gonna be flying straight into it through a storm. Brilliant. It's gonna be good.
Osprey 117, descent level 150.
So we've got to not only get into the airfield through horrendous weather, but get back out again. It's going to be interesting.
68 Whiskey Echo, sorry, we don't have Delta Mike 40.
Friend 68 Whiskey Echo, just put it manually into your FMC, please.
Delta Mike 47 in my FMC from 68.
Yeah, I mean this is before I've even done a night shift. You imagine if this was to me tomorrow doing a night shift between a live stream between 2 night shifts, I'd be wrecked. Night Shepherd's down into the soup. Pray for the Night Shepherd.
Lufthansa 667, switch to Unicron, goodbye.
Lufthansa 667, switching Unicom, tschüss.
Delta Tango Mike via Charlie, Whiskey 1 in November to the apron, schönes Wochenende.
The clouds look incredible now, don't they? And I'm not convinced they've updated it. I think it's just the sim deciding to actually look fantastic for the day.
Osprey 2728 Mike, hello, you identified.
What a great call sign that is.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Echo, right heading 170.
Going to revisit these charts. So Whiskey Sierra 831 at 5.
300 or greater, 6 Lima Alpha. Friend 68 Whiskey Echo, expect 26 right, descent level 110.
110, expect 26 right on 68 Whiskey Echo.
Oh God, what's going on with YouTube? Gone. And reported. It's bizarre, isn't it? Subscriber mode is on, they haven't subscribed, yet somehow they can bypass it. A real problem on YouTube these days.
Bavarian 67, descent level 150 to reach at Osttest.
Descent 150 to reach at Osttest.
Doc's just been promoted.
Swiss 123 Zulu, switch to Unicom, shoot.
Unicom, Swiss 123 Zulu, jump.
Now has moderator privileges. If you want it, of course. I figured you're always in the live streams. Doc, weird. Whilst the weird debris things appeared as well.
60 mile for descent level 80. Descent level 80, 60 mile for.
Well over halfway. Where are we now? 2/3 of the way there already. Fantastic. Making very good progress. There's our fixed rings. So we've got the Salzburg fixed rings and then the around the VOR, but then also the NDB. So the NDB is pretty much where the airfield is. Salzburg VOR's really well set from it.
2366 Transavia 70 Alpha, thank you.
Transavia 35 Yankee, expect Osttest level 150 when ready, descent level 200.
Expect Osttest flight level 150 when ready, descend flight level 200, Transavia 35 Yankee.
Eurowings 22 Alpha via Delta Mike 438, cleared LS 265.
Osttest flight level 150.
Proceed direct umtext.
Move the top of descent marker. So, that's brought our top of descent right up towards us. So, what have we got on the descent checks? Arrival and weather data obtained and set. We'll do a final refresh of Salzburg's METAR, which has now been updated. Winds 2, 9 and 0 degrees at 10 knots. All the 9s in light showers and rain. Few clouds at 700 feet, scattered 2,000. Few clouds at 3,500 cumulonimbus. Broken cloud at 4,000 feet. Temperatures plus 15 degrees. Dew point 13 degrees. QNH 1020. Temporary 4,000 meters visibility in thunderstorms and rain.
Direct to Osttest.
Set the standby altimeter debris. We want to set the RNAV Yankee minimums 1790. In fact, I'm going to save my wrist and I'm going to set the rad out of 380. Same figure, but I'm using the rad out instead of the barometric altitude instead.
Okay, 5000, 1021.
380.
Kein Problem, dann 5000. Osprey 117, descent 9,000 feet, the QNH is 1021.
1021, descend 9,000, Osprey 117.
Swiss 2 to Golf, further descent in 2 minutes.
Further descent in 2 minutes, this is the Golf.
That's set, that's set. ILS we're not doing, but the lock, or the VORs and the NDB are tuned, radios are set, landing altitude set, wing engine anti-ice is required, we'll turn it on further into the descent there, altimeter set, minimum set, approach has been briefed, water brake 3, MCP altitude, let's go to the descent tab, oh, top of descent in 2 more nautical miles. I was going to enable that and activate descent now, but actually we're hitting it now. There we go. Look at that big collection of aircraft there on TCAS around us. Oh, how are you still getting on with your Velocity 1 from Turtle Beach? Do you still recommend it? I love it. You know what? It works incredibly well on this, the BA146 and the CRJ. Works really, really well on them. 747 as well, and the 787 works brilliantly. It's a little weird using a yoke on an Airbus, but it works really good on that too, and it seems to be very nicely plug and play for us.
Osprey 51 Tango, reply level 370 with you.
Down we go.
51 Tango, allow you identified.
Gav, how was the weather for you? What's your pilot report?
Houston Radar, good afternoon. Tomjet November 782, cruising at flight level 350, inbound to border.
Tomjet 782, allow squad 36.
Ultimate set, transition was 120, I think we set. So down we go. Down to transition and 10,000, and then we're going to do the 10,000 feet checks. Got the charts ready to go. Not going to bother with the SID because it's literally just one waypoint to another. They're under 3, Gav. Beautiful. Sounds like we might be hand flying this in then, boys.
9452, switch to Unicron, goodbye. Osprey 51 Tango, you identified, thank you.
Doc, yes, very, very true. Yeah, it's suggested order break 3 for us with a nice bracket of 972 meters before the end of the runway, so that should be fine. What we can also do is go init ref 52.8. Send flight level 150 to reach at Osted to crossover 35 Yankee.
Tomjet 782, direct to Osted.
That done. 52.8 is giving us a V speeds of 127 at flap 30, so nice and slow. Slowest approach I've done on this, I think, so far. Bring the Fricks rings in, we'll do 80, we'll do 40 for now actually.
Direct to Tomjet November 70.
Bavarian 67, descent 9,000 feet, GNH 102.
There's our VNAV path. So we can see we're on track to reach 150 by Ostes.
60 Alpha, left 080, speed to 20.
Left 080, speed to 20, 60 Alpha.
0.22 Alpha, speed 170 knots until 7 miles.
170 knots until 7 miles.
Let's get some lights on here. That's all good. They're all on. How long have we got to the cloud top? Couple of minutes. About 10 minutes to cloud tops. Into IMC. Bozzy, member for 6 months. Thank you very much for all of your ongoing support.
Flight level 270 Alpha.
Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, direct to Ostes, descent level 200.
Yeah, runway 33 with the RNAV Yankee approach, but actually if the cloud breaks at 3,000 and it's clear, as Gav has just flown and seen, if it remains that way, the weather is transient of course, then what we will be doing is turning the autopilot off and flying in the remainder, doing a visual approach. Or I might use autopilot to assist us in the first instance. Look at that. VNAV track, VNAV path. But the VSD looks really good here on this. There's a lot of data on that one screen, isn't there? Just don't want traffic. Turn it off for now.
München Service Condor 6 Charlie Papa Rotex 3 Sierra.
Condor 6 Charlie Papa, hello, report the passing altitude.
I'm passing 4,500, climbing 7.
Tango identified, climb unrestricted 290.
Unrestricted
290. So that's set, that's set, that's set. That's set.
4,000, QNH 121 from 68 Whiskey Echo.
Osprey 117, switch to Unicron, goodbye.
Unicron for Osprey 117, thank you for the ATC, good day.
Osprey 2472, proceed direct to Ostes.
Proceed direct to Ostes for Osprey 2472.
Bavarian 67, speed 2.
We might get a lot of this, so I'm actually going to turn it off. We're going to get terrain inhibit mode warning.
Bavarian 67.
60 Alpha, right 230, clear direct 26 right, 170 knots to 7.
Right 230, clear alles 26 right and 170 to 7, Lufthansa 60 Alpha.
Out. I've done this in the Airbus. I've done one approach once in the Airbus. I've never done it in the 737, so this is a big first. In fact, I've never flown this particular approach in any aircraft. So, second time flying into Salzburg.
9,000 feet, the QNH is 1021.
It's at 9,000 feet, QNH 1021, Transavia 35 Yankee.
Transavia 70 Alpha, descent level 150.
150, Transavia 70 Alpha.
Lufthansa 9 Mike, runway 26 right.
Lufthansa 21.
Ryanair 2 November Romeo.
Let's see what's on.
Unicom, goodbye.
Unicom, bye-bye, Ryanair 2 November Romeo.
Swiss to the Gulf, do you need a new approach?
Swiss to the Gulf, request visual runway inside.
Icing.
Roger, clear visual approach 24.
To the Gulf, thanks.
Monsieur Radar, good evening. Turkish 2207, 3990 inbound get.
Turkish 2207, hello, you identified. Squad 1564.
Squad 5164, Turkish 2207.
Negative 1564.
So you can see the occasional breaks in the cloud, and at this altitude you can't actually see any cumulonimbus, which is what we're being told to expect in Salzburg. You'd expect to see over in that direction some big anvils. So there's a couple of big clouds there.
614, hello, climb level 190.
Now, because we are descending into potential thunderstorms, what I'm going to do is set continuous ignition as well through the cloud, because we're expecting rain, icing, and thunderstorms. And thunderstorms can cause significant updrafts and downdrafts and wind shear. So continuous ignition mode, in my mind, logically, will help protect the engines and keep them running, prevents flame out.
Subjet 782, descent level 200.
Descent flight level 200, Tomcat November 70.
Osprey 2728 Mike, descent level 150 to reach at Ostes.
Sasha, hello. Nate, hello to you as well, welcome.
Friend 68.
If you've not clicked the like button so far, please do. Unless you're waiting to see if I crash.
Bavarian 67, monitor Unicom, goodbye.
Unicom, Bavarian 67, bye-bye.
United 107, monitor Unicom, goodbye.
Yo, you've got the magic touch. Slash horrendous jinx.
Osprey 510.
Osprey 2472, descent level 280.
Descent flight level 280, Prospect 2472.
Lufthansa 9 Mike, descent level 210.
Lufthansa 9 Mike, down level 210.
Aircraft's just struggling here to maintain our speed, so I'm using flight detent with spoilers at the moment. That'll do.
Mike Foxtrot identified, climb unrestricted 190.
Doc crashed his 738 a couple of days ago due to severe wind shear in TLPL. Yeah, it's a very dangerous thing, wind shear. It took down a Turkish Airlines 737 a couple of years ago, didn't it? Alberto, wowzers, member for 15 months, gold frequent flyer, thank you buddy. All of the support over almost a year and a half.
Francis Whiskey Echo, right heading 170, speed 200.
Speed 201, right, sorry, heading 170 from 68 with Takeoff.
Right.
Let's get that rate descent up here. Shaquille, hello. Almost into the P soup now. Clouds look wonderful.
Gonzalez 70 Alpha, descend 9,000 feet, QNH 1021.
9,000 feet, QNH 1021, transaction 70 Alpha.
Osprey 27.
You're already getting bumpy. You can see the aircraft getting shaken around a little bit through this. Now we're into P soup, folks. Who knows when we're going to bust through the bottom.
Langarder, wind on. Ocean 8 Yankee passing 5,000.
Leave that on auto. Give crew a double ding. We've got icing on, which I no doubt will forget again. I always forget that I've activated icing.
Passing 5,100 for 7,000.
Ocean 8 Yankee identified, climb unrestricted level 290.
Unrestricted level 290, the Ocean 8 Yankee.
Doc, I will for this, but only because we've got reports of cumulonimbus and thunderstorms in the area, so that usually, along with the very close dew point and everything else, gives us some significant risk of icing. Severe icing around CBs as well, don't forget.
No worries, 300 F from 68, with Takeoff.
Lufthansa 614, switch to Unicorn, goodbye.
God, this nav display looks quite messy.
Swiss to Golf via November to the April, schönes Wochenende.
November to the April, danke für den Service. Bye-bye, Swiss to the Golf.
Von der Charlie Papa, Unicorn, ciao.
Unicorn, ciao, danke dir, Sammy.
Gerne, bis dann. Transavia 35 Yankee, Unicorn, have a great weekend.
Unicorn for Transavia 35 Yankee, choose.
Transavia 70 Alpha, speed 250 knots.
250 knots, stand 70 Alpha.
Let's go to VNAV mode.
2472, descend flight level 150.
150, Osprey 2472.
Osprey 5110, your descent level 200.
Descend 200, Osprey 5.
Drag required.
Jet 4 Lima Mike, direct
So
test, descent level 200.
there's a light here that comes on to tell you there's something in the FMC the aeroplane's trying to do, basically.
Right.
With Alex, 655 from 68 with Gecko.
I'm going to turn terrain mode off, back on for now, just for the situation display. I might ignore all of the warnings that it's going to give us as well. Let's go to Unicom now. Look at that. Oh, yikes. What we got here? 333. So minimum's 380, 790. So 18. Missed approach, climb straight ahead to 6,000 and hold. Salzburg traffic, Transavia 35 Yankee, QNH 1021 passing Badit 7,000 feet, descending in for the RNAV Yankee approach runway 33. Salzburg traffic. Get rid of the spoilers here for a little while. See those legs. Let's go init ref onto the approach page. A lot going on here. There's the rain coming in now over the displays, which is why with the thunderstorms you can expect very heavy rain, icing and everything else. So we've got ignition modes on continuous already. I'm not sure if that's something real 737 pilots would do or whether it's company specific, but it seems like a good idea to me. 240, 240, 240, Whiskey A33. Actually, we want to go speed intervention mode. Let's go to our flap up speed. 200. Yikes. This is where I wish we had a nice weather radar. Salzburg traffic transfer 35 Yankee, reducing speed to 100 knots. This is where I wish I had a third screen. That's all done. So we get through the speed retraction elements now once we go beyond speed up. And actually all of this is going to fly very quickly. So let's go to flaps 5 now, I think. Let's go flap 5. Trying to think what I want the aeroplane to be at. Where do I want the configuration of the aeroplane at this waypoint, and then at this waypoint, which is final approach, and that's only in 20 miles.
Bavaria 7, reducing speed to 112.5 knots, straight point, Whiskey Sierra 836.
Still in VNAV path at the moment, which is fine.
Oh, 7 wheels down, runway 33, gonna vacate at the end. I'll let you know when we're clear. Salzburg traffic.
Feel like I want terrain mode back on for a moment.
All 3117, clear of runway 33 for traffic that's fine.
Salzburg traffic, Transalva 35 Yankee, passing Whiskey Sierra 833, downwind, runway 33. Oh, yikes. So it's pointless me looking out the window. Basically, all I'm doing at the moment is staring at the screens, the nav displays. They're giving me everything I need to know. I've got to monitor it carefully. Let's reduce the speed even more now to 145, no, 160. Lap 10. Question is, when are we going to break through the cloud? Because then it will be, do we hand fly or do we not? Lap 15, there's the runway. Not long after that, we've got then a very short final approach, so actually we want to now start to think about configuring 4 finals. 127.
Bavaria 67, turn around.
132. What's VNAV doing? Lap 10. That's a go around. There's the runway. God, we literally can't see anything, can we? We've armed approach mode. I'm a little bit nervous about this. I've got to try and get it down first time so we can get the next leg in. This point, we're 3,000 above the ground, aren't we? 1,550 is about 4,000. We are 5 miles. Right, yeah, let's go gear down. Lap 15. Salzburg traffic, Transurfer 35 Mike, correction 35 Yankee is final runway 33 via the downwind.
Good luck, boss. It's plenty of pea soup on the runway.
Jeez, that does not sound good. Okay, we're on the descent now, folks. Let's get set up for flap 30. There's wind shear. Oh my god. Okay, we can see some ground.
Transavia 70 Alpha is on final on downwind.
Jesus. On 32. Love it, it's actually done it itself. One less thing for us to worry about. Literally can't see a chuffing thing here. $5 mile on the fixed ring, and excuse me if I go quiet for a moment because I can't. I am all over my brain at the moment, in deep in thought. 6. .333 for a missed approach in thrust retrust. Indeed. Right. Transavia 35 Yankees turning 5 mile track miles final. Oh my god. So this is why we didn't do the visual RNAV. We have to do Yankee because the weather suggested this is too bad for us to hand fly it, and it is. Yeah. Love it. This is why we flight sim.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
This should take us all the way down.
Caution, terrain.
There's the false guide slope.
Caution, terrain.
Actually, it's allowing us to do CMD A and B. So,
Caution, terrain.
is this an RNAV? AR, yes. Absolutely stunning. The aeroplane's flying this as if it's an ILS. Doc, it has now. It could be the scenery, not the plane, don't forget. It all depends on how the scenery is configured. If for information of anyone coming in behind, 1 mile final with no visibility still.
500.
We're just going to have to auto land this, I think. Approaching minimums.
400. Minimums.
There's the runway. Just. Yeah, boy. Oh my god. Now I've lost the runway, but it's fine. Let's commit. Let's commit. Let's keep it. Let's keep it. Oh, there she is.
Looking good.
200.
Holy moly. We're high. Let's just commit.
100.
See if we can recover this. Back into cloud.
30. 20. 10.
Yeah, you can expect 0 visibility to the threshold.
To the Transavia that just landed, I recorded your landing. It's awesome. You just came out of nowhere in the middle of the rain.
Ah.
Fire crew out from the
You'll be right, John.
Let's try and get out off the runway as quick as we can for these guys coming in behind. Love it. We're getting a warning of takeoff config because we're trying to get the thrust out. What an approach. Love it.
Salzburg traffic, Osprey 2472, descending via the paddock. 1 Romeo Star. Expecting RNAV Yankee, runway.
So it's quicker to get to this exit up here than it is anywhere else. Look at this visibility. Just to help everyone else out behind.
Rifle and the RNAV 33 Yankee.
Oh my god. Jesus God. Wow, that was close. Oh, runway vacated. Blue, I did, yeah, I did. Oh my god. That had me sweating then.
Salzburg traffic, Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, downwind right hand for runway 33.
Oh my god. I'm literally sweating when I saw that plane appear. Pan Am 2.0, that reminds me of. Getting flashbacks to the news. Needs a change of clothes. Oh, good grief.
Transavia 70 Alpha going downwind for runway 33.
God, you know what? I've lost my mind so much, I'm trying to think where we need to park now. Is it here? Oh, it is. Where's the... That's where the sim wants us to park. Echo 1. Oh, we've overshot that. Let's just ignore the simulator. Move further down, will you, Menzies? Thank you very much. Let's get rid of this and the spoilers. Oh. David, that was close. Watch from the ground. That was the quickest way off the runway as well. I guess I could have continued all the way to the bottom and removed the risk, I guess. But we had a long way to go to get off the off the runway. I mean, we can't even spot the touchdowns anyway because we can't see any. This is proper pea soup. Life begins at 40. Good morning to you. Welcome. Yeah, EAS are going to be all over this. Tenerife, yeah. Oh, yes, it was, yeah. More recent. Yikes.
Salzburg traffic, Osprey 27 Juliet Mike is turning final for runway 33.
Good luck.
Tomcat, November 782 on downwind, outbound 10 miles, turning in 5 miles. 5.
Transavia 70 Alpha on final, runway 33.
How's he got that? Wow.
Osprey 2472 is reducing speed to minimum for separation.
Okie
Turning
dokie.
downwind for runway 33. Salzburg traffic.
Oh my god. I don't think they both realise. MFS pilot, I hope you didn't just turn right into downwind to go again. Hopefully you... I assume you've gone back to the Salzburg VOR. Because there's two there. MFS pilot, no, not if you've if you're going to cause someone else to go around because you've not followed the procedure. I won't watch it.
Osprey 27 Julie Mike, it's finals runway 33.
Right,
So
well,
traffic, Osprey, 5 on Tango, turning downwind for runway 33 and reducing to 220.
close to EHRD.
Osprey 2472 just in front. I've got 200 knots in front of you, so that should work out.
So whoever that
Yeah,
is,
220 is my minimum
don't go
speed,
around.
So that will work, I guess.
I'll bump mine up to 220.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Nice from the Osprey. That was like a double whammy there. Oh, what a pro.
Osprey traffic, Osprey 27 Julie Mike, vacated runway 33.
Nicely done.
Ooh. Who was that in front?
Someone that didn't follow the missed approach procedure. I bet he's getting TCAS alerts all over the place there. Let's load the next route and we will change to Transavia 23 Charlie. Definitely hot brakes, Joep, yes. There's the next one coming in. HRD, flight number TRA 23 Charlie now. The Transavia 23 Charlie. That can go into the scratch pad there. And we've got to refresh our next flight. Out of flight plan, sim brief. For some reason it keeps thinking that Lowe's is a waypoint in New Zealand. So Volanta's rather messed up. What's the departure? In row 1 Alpha. Cool.
Osprey 2472 turning final, runway 33, Salzburg traffic.
Menu, FS actions, ground surfaces, we need the chocks. I'm not going to worry about any of this stuff because we've got to get on with the turnaround. Fuel 6.5. There's MFS pilot, there's a Eurowings jet, quite a few of us actually. Oh, it's a go around.
Osprey 2472 is going around, Salzburg traffic.
That's the cloud.
Salzburg traffic, Osprey, 5 something, ascending final, runway 2P.
Okay, what's next? Fuel 6455. Payload.
Good grief.
Yes. Only 89 passengers. Wowzers.
Two jet following the mic, turning downwind 433.
Zero fuel weight. It's only 47.1. Wowzers. That's very light. Let's just do 47.5, shall we?
Where's the maintenance hangers? I need some spanner in here.
Yes. Legs, menu. Birth minute request. Bring the ACARS in here for a new sim brief plan. I'll amend the takeoff performance as well. In this with our new zero fuel weight instead. So ACARS, METAR, 3.3. Takeoff 2 it says, flap 5.
That's a taxi on full throttle.
It's properly broken. Oh. Nicely done. That looked a bit hairy there. Trying to spot as many as I can. Load. Transition altitude is going to be 10,000 for the departure, but we need to execute this first. Cruise winds. 215 at 27.
Salzburg traffic, I'm at retrieve located.
I'm racing for time here. 162. 2.2 actually, that's bang on. That's fine. That's that. That's all set, and we want flight level 380. Executes. Time. Cruise. Descent. Descent winds. Fastest 737 turnaround you've ever seen. Munchen radar 124050, which would tune after departure as we pass the Salzburg VOR. Initially we steer away from German airspace, we're climbing up through Austrian airspace instead. Let's just execute that for now, we'll do the rest once we're airborne. Legs, all good. Init ref, set. M1 limits, takeoff 2, climb 1 because of the terrain, I think. You might have knackered your plane, John. Love it. Flap 5. So we'll go to this first. We'll go wet, and we'll do the winds here at Salzburg. We'll add that in. 310 at 9.
Osprey 117 Salzburg traffic going to be pushing back.
Then we'll go flap 5. We'll get our centre of gravity. 626. Look at that V speed. V1 of 109. We're very light today for this second sector.
Is entering the hold at Whiskey Sierra 831. Osprey Salzburg traffic.
So you need to enter the hold, do you? One, two, three. Done. Jolly good. That's set. We'll check our Navigraph stuff. So we need to pull the new route in, so...
Sending base 433.
Inmore 1 Alpha. So we're going to depart runway 33. So initially outbound Whiskey Sierra 610, and literally right before we hit German airspace, we're committing to a sharp right turn, 032 degrees to head out to Imron at or above 5,000. Transition altitude is 10,000 at the top of the charts, and initial clearance limit is 6,000, which is fine. We've already got that set. So 334. Make sure the collar's all the way on 30, and we've got our V speeds. We want to make sure we've set those. 128, 138. So very, very light.
Zeroing Swan, Mike Oscar, holding point for runway 33. Ready
Recycle the flight directors.
For incoming traffic.
Pumps are still good. APU's still on. We haven't got any warning lights or anything on the overhead panels here. Packs can go off. Anti-collision lights on. 380. Landing altitude's going to be 50. Might even be 0 actually, because Rotterdam's technically below sea level. So let's set 0. See the signs on. Toolbar pushback. So we'll click manual pushback and it spawns the tug. Something I've spoke about before. Then we'll stop pushback. Then we'll pre-plan it.
Georgia, following the mark, short final 33.
Ooh, it's done a weird step there. How do I get rid of... Is it this escape button? Oops. Oh, good grief. No, of course it's not. It is... Backspace. Oh, look at that. Nicely done. 2E jet.
This is ground. Stand by.
So ordinarily this is a skiing resort, and it's actually remarkably nice to fly in and out of if the weather's nice. If it's not, it's pretty horrendous. Let's get rid of Navigraph.
Lima for the Foxtrot holding point for runway 33, Salzburg traffic.
One inbound. Blue, I turned... engine anti-ice was off, but wing anti-ice stayed on. Exile, a question about the add-on. Is there a setting to change the auto throttle so it disengages when I do manual input like the Airbus? Yes.
All ground equipment is removed. Please set parking brakes.
The parking brakes are set.
Georgia, following the mark, located 33.
Parking brakes set. Lifting the aircraft.
Take the chocks off.
We are cleared for start and push.
Salzburg traffic Transavia 23 Charlie stand something. Push and start.
Hey, so I'm almost clear of you now. And
put it back. You can start the engines in sequence. Yeah, we'll start in the sequence.
Oops. Oops.
Going from my Costco, taking off runway 33.
Hold it.
I'll spray 117 on clear the plane looking to push back box. You're clear.
Ground.
Transavia sends it off.
Control everyone.
Stand, I don't know, push and start.
There goes the Eurowings. This weather's horrendous. Yeah, that's it. So it's inside the PMDG settings menu. If you've got the tutorial pack that they've got, the sort of... Oh my god, what's happened there?
Pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
I feel like toolbar pushback almost crashed my sim then.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Salzburg traffic,
That's a worry.
turning downwind, runway 33, expecting RNAV Yankee approach.
So you see there where it was stuck on, that's where you've got to be really careful.
Has been removed. See you at
Waiting for you, Ian.
Have a good flight.
Good luck, mate.
Holding position, waiting for the visual. Thank you.
Trying to get in. Let it do its thing, it should sort you.
So takeoff trims, we've got all of our route ready to go. We've got to make sure that we've got our takeoff performance page selected through this horrendous weather. It's just getting worse. Eve, hello again, welcome. MFS pilot,
Salzburg
thanks.
traffic, Osprey 117 will be holding short at Point Echo for runway 33 for incoming traffic. Osprey 117.
Oh, he's pushing anyway. Get the probe heat on, very important for weather like this. Axe isolation valve. APU bleed off. APU off. Get the wing lighting on. Taxi lights on. Gen's good. LNAV. VNAV. Auto throttle. System. Page. Full right. Full left. Elevators. And rudders. There we go. No worries. I will follow you, MFS pilot. So that's our flight controls all checked. We'll clear the page. We can, I like that page, you get a bit more data there while we wait for MFS pilot. My dog's going mad.
From Safia 70 Alpha, taxi into runway 33 via Lima and then holding at Foxtrot.
Sorted. MFS pilot, are you ready? Woofer armed indeed. Oh, look at the cloud now, it's even worse. Okay, we'll follow him. Salzburg traffic, Transavia 23 Charlie is following the company traffic by the apron and Lima for hold point Foxtrot runway 33. Got one inbound.
Someone just tried to take off the apron.
God. It's not been a dramatic stream at all, has it?
Salzburg traffic.
Always like to keep on your toes, boss.
Yeah, why not? Let's use them. Gotta work it out again. How has he crashed? Oh. Hopefully some point soon the wipers will work. Thrust modes need to go continuous. Done most of the rest. Flight controls full free. Taxi lights auto brake. There's no warnings from that.
2472 turning final runway 33. Salzburg traffic.
MFS pilot, what happened? Now this could be a cool image. So I know we've got two ahead. It's not like we're in a rush to take off or taxi. I'm going to head here. I'm going to bring this in to about there for a screenshot of whoever's about to touch down. Let's see. There he is. Oh, the bombing run. God. I reckon you could have done that. It's another go around.
Salzburg traffic Osprey 2472 is going around again.
Bad luck, eh?
It's a tough approach
Jesus.
in really horrible weather.
Transfer 70 Alpha holding short at Foxtrot.
Osprey 117, I'm going to line up, ready to take off, runway 3.
I captured that on a screenshot.
Echo.
I put it on Volanta. 3-8. That's all good. They're set. They're whirring away.
You know how to pick them, Luke.
Yeah. I blame Yoep for this one.
Blame Doc for the route.
Transfer 70 Alpha, I'm lining up at runway 33.
To think that I went on my honeymoon here. It's definitely not a honeymoon today.
Oh God. Well, he's going for an Echo intersection departure there. Awesome. Seeing. Ah, Airbus A321X. You know what would be really cool is if we had those. Oops! Oh my God! What happened there? It'd be really cool if we had those wind effects. You rotate, you lift though, you pull back on the sort of on the yoke, and you rotate during the takeoff roll. You get that, especially in weather like this, you'd get that incredible effect over the wings. It'd be something I'd love to see MSFS introduce in the future. Blue, depends on how much fuel you've got, so twice, sometimes 3 times is the limit, but it depends on your final reserve fuels, where your diversion is going to be and everything as well. It's a tough one.
Climbing through 2500.
Not much to see on this departure here today. So what have we got? We've got traffic mode already on. Let's get terrain mode active. Transponder TARA.
Transavia 70 Alpha takeoff runway 33.
Look at that terrain radar. Yikes. Do we have anybody inbound? We don't, do we, at the moment? Let's go to... Yeah. Salzburg traffic, Transavia 23 Charlie is lining up via Foxtrot, runway 33. Done. Lots of red. We are, and I've thrown in a return back to Rotterdam. Can't even see that Transavia flight. Look at that visibility, guys, on the runway. That's horrendous. Don't think I've flown in visibility this bad in the sim for a long time. Displace thresholds with the arrows means that we can start our takeoff roll from here. So we will. We can't even see beyond the Pappies. That's how bad the weather is. Oh my God, just as I was going to pan. Go away. Spam bot things. Yikes. Hold on a second, it's not even done.
123.
There we go. Oh, look at that. Now all of a sudden it's cleared. How magical. Almost 100 likes. Thank you, folks.
Salzburg traffic, Osprey 2472 is turning downwind again, runway 33.
I'll see where he's gone. So he's turning downwind, so we've got a couple of moments. Milan, there's no weather engine, this is just the default msfs weather stuff. So let's get the park brake off, holding the aircraft on the brakes. We'll let the engine stabilise. We're light, so we know we've got a short takeoff roll. Off the brakes. Salzburg traffic, Transavia 23 Charlie taking off, Imron 1 Alpha departure from Waythrough. ESP stable, toga, stick forwards, let's go. Maintain the centre line through the variable crosswind, using quite a bit of right rudder here.
80 knots.
Cross set.
V1.
Fitted. Rotate.
V2. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Now that trim looks very out, so yeah, you can't spend too long enjoying a view in this because it will try and trip you up. It's an aeroplane you have to fly. Let's keep it going. Climb profile 1 for an even higher climb. We're accelerating through our flaps retraction speeds as well. Let's 14 for now. Salzburg traffic, Transavia 23 Charlie's climbing through 4,000 on the star. Auto brake off. Gear off. Runway turn off lights off. Mission modes off. Let's park the windscreen wipers. That's all looking fine. And away we go. Up to Imron, at or above 5,000 for the requirement of this star. That's me, welcome, hello to you. Thanks for tuning in today, I hope you're okay. The noise monitoring point we've just flown past at the moment. Okay, at Imron, we're going to change on 24050 for Munchen radar, who's now offline actually, so back to Unicom.
Salzburg traffic, Osprey 2472 is turning base, short final for runway 33.
Good luck, Ian.
Salzburg traffic.
Mateo says, do you know why I've got a yoke and battery guard bug? What sort of bug is it? You kind of describe what you're facing, what you're experiencing. Look at that for a screenshot, folks. Climbing out through the pea soup. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? Leg 2 of 2, a little bit hasty, so those of you flying along, sorry it is a bit rushed, but I'm trying to get this second leg in before I'm due away on night shift in about 2.5 hours. I've got to be leaving, so hence why we're quick getting it all sorted for a turnaround. Then we get to head back to the RDPresets Rotterdam as well, which is a very nice bit of scenery, so we'll be heading over to that and returning where we started the stream today. Makes a nice little change. Got to refresh the thing because it's completely frozen on your overhead thing at the top of the screen for you guys. That's better.
Osprey 2472 is disconnecting due to poorly planned and low fuel.
Oh.
Oh, Ian, I was waiting for you.
Flight 272, it might line up on my 23.
Good luck, thanks for flying.
Thanks guys, have a good one rest of the trip. I'll watch you on the screen.
Good on you, Butler, mate.
Yeah, bad luck, excuse me.
It's pretty horrible weather. You know it's bad weather because they've cancelled flights in real life into Salzburg. So, but quite a few of us to get in, that's pretty cool. Those of you who haven't got in, that's fair enough because a lot of airplanes haven't. So, Matteo, the battery guard is down, but the battery switch is off and I can't move it, and the yoke is turned to the left, 90 degrees. That was mentioned on the PMDG forums. There is a way to solve that. I can't remember what it is. 81 nautical miles to top of climb. That's what we needed to think about. So let's go to our charts as we're climbing away here. Navograph. So we're flying in on the... What are we flying in on? RKN3 Romeo. Reckon. Okay. So again, a lot of this takes you past Schiphol Airport and Lelystad. So we're going to be flying in from the Reckon VOR 1168. We're heading in Tenley, Levo at flight level 070. Compass, past Schiphol, down to Kako. In fact, not Kako, sorry, because we're going to be landing 24, aren't we? So from Kako, we're just going to go direct to Atvit, which is then our final approach. What's the weather saying in Rotterdam at the moment? METAR EHRD. Oh my god, the weather's even worse at Rotterdam now. So the METAR now tells us transition levels probably. What's the transition level? 018 4,000. Such a low transition altitude. The 1018. That'll do. Keep this aligned. Just flying the plane before I continue the chat about what we were doing. There we go. So yeah, the METAR at the moment in Rotterdam is 210 degrees at 14 knots, gusting 24 knots. Winds are variable between 160 degrees and 240 degrees. Scattered cloud at 2,800, scattered cloud at 3,500, temperatures 18 degrees Celsius, dew point plus 12 degrees Celsius, QNH 1018 and temporary 7,000 meters visibility in light showers of rain. What are we doing here then? So on to... What are we thinking? With that in mind, landing ACAS runway 24 is what we're going to assume we're going to be using. Certainly allows, without the gusts, it allows for a 13 knot headwind and a 1 knot crosswind, so that's fine. Though it is gusting 24 at times. We're going to say the runway's wet because we can assume it is with the weather, it's raining and all that sort of stuff. And it's telling us we need auto brake max, flap 30 with an approach speed of 140 knots. And a landing altitude of 0, which is what we assumed would be the case anyway, so that's what we've set on the overhead panel there. Because the Rotterdam airport elevation is actually minus 14 feet below sea level. Gavin, great choice of flights, right? It's there's no calm weather today. No calm weather today. We're testing all of our abilities. 335. Jeff, yeah, very good point. If we're staying at this altitude, we don't need to worry about the weather. We just need to worry about fuel. Okay, so Rocket 3, 3 Romeo. Let's add the departure, sorry, the arrival route in and the start. So EHRD, ILS Zulu 24. We're not choosing any of these transitions. So we're going to go from the star straight to the approach. We execute that, and when we look at the legs page, there's Rocken. So if we redisplay Navigraph with the charts, so you can kind of compare the two as we like to do on the channel, we can see that we're going to be going, where are we? There we go, Reckon, Tenley, Levo at flight level 70. Still reckons we want to be at 240 knots there though. I definitely don't want to be at 240 knots at that point. So we will do 180 at flight level 70. Doffmu. Compass. Echo Doffmu, right, yes, we don't want those. So it's telling us we can't do speed constraint I've requested because of what we had further in the route. So at POM, which was here, PAM, we'll go direct to the approach, which is at bit. So we'll click that, PAM, we'll then clear CACO. So exec. Now it's going to reconfigure the RNAV. It's going to go about 240 at flight level 70, PAM at 240, and then all of a sudden we've massively decelerated. ILS Zulu at VIT shows 10 miles RSV at 2000. And RD 252 at 2000 for the glide slope at that point at 6 miles. So we're going to go 180 slash flight level. In fact, we'll leave that. Beautiful. So it's kept the pre-configured constraint in. Hammer 180 as well, so that gives us 20 knots deceleration over a couple of miles. Cool, and there's our missed approach stuff as well. Holding at Doffmu. Descent data is already done. We've already done that. Transition level QNH is now in. There's our descent winds forecast, and we've now done our arrival into Rotterdam. Fixed rings. Let's add some of those in. So on the charts, we can see we've got the Rotterdam VOR 1104, which is just before the threshold. And that's RTM. We're not using RTM. Let's use RSV. We'll see if we can actually add that in, shall we? ILS DME Rotterdam. There we go, beautiful. So we'll select that and we'll do a fixed ring of 6 miles, because that's where the glide slope begins, and we'll do 10 miles. This from memory is quite a quick approach as well. Done. We're ready. So we've got ahead of the aeroplane. I just have enough fuel to get to the gate. Nice one. Made it down with 600 kilograms in the tank. It was that or into the hills. Ian, good work, good work. That's fantastic. Great effort. If you're new to the channel, please click the subscribe button down below. And don't forget, folks, if you are enjoying it today, press the like button as well. We're having an absolute whirlwind for 2 routes here today. Almost at cruise. Look at that, showing off. It's giving us a little wiggle and showing us like her belly. Fantastic. Oh, you know what I forgot? Landing lights. After all that excitement. Got wing lights off as well. We don't need the logo lights. I was even looking at the overhead panel as well, thinking I must have missed something. Badger, the weather's testing my skills flying the Mad Dog. Yeah, how's it handling in all of this with the wind shear and everything? So I was going to go direct Gazka, but we've got one aircraft ahead of us on the exact same route, so we've got to be careful. Any sort of skipping waypoints will mean us that we all sort of bunch up very quickly on approach together. And it gets a little bit messy. Check out a new range of Heathrow Airport related stuff as well. I've created digitisation of the charts and added them onto merchandise like mugs and everything else as well. Mugs, stickers, laser cut vinyl stickers and all sorts of stuff, and it looks awesome. It looks really cool, so do check those new products out on the merchandise store over at Spring. And a couple of notepads as well, which is ironically something that I fed back to them because we were able to do it via Etsy and Printful, but not on Spring, our main merchandise provider. So now they offer that option too. So yeah, very cool. How far to top of descent? That's going to be a big question. 219 miles, fine. Now what we can do is think about the ILS. And again, all the information's on the chart, so we've got to make sure we'll tune the Rotterdam VOR 1104, and we'll tune the Pompous VOR as well further up, 1178. So both of those, 1178, 1104. And yeah, 1104, so 1178, 1104. Lovely. So there's two VORs tuned, but now we have to think about the ILS. So we know we've got the frequency of the ILS of 110.9er. 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 So we have to tune that into nav 1 and 2 for the ILS for it to work, and the course of 236. It's important we do course 1 and 2. So if we know we're descending into really nasty weather, it is better for us to save time now and get all these little bits of administration done prior to the descent. So when we do hit top of descent, all we need to think about then is checking that all the data's correct, but also then just managing the aeroplane through the horrendous weather that we're going to be going through. Keeping the engines running, making sure everything's accurate still and flying as we expect. The minimums on the charts are down here for Cat C. Runway visibility here, RVR, with full approach lighting system in place is 550 meters. So, and that's with the glide slope. So we're going to use that. Cat C, minimums on the Barrow 204. It's already preset to 200, so just a couple of clicks gets us 204. Lovely stuff.
Wind on 1 on 2, prepare for landing, Nürnberg Airport, runway 288.
MFS pilot, yeah, Airbus versus Boeing. Both very, very good in their own rights, aren't they? But it's a question of, well, one's more hands-on and one's more automated and digitised, so they're both very good in what they do. I think for flight safety, Airbus certainly has a much better system. However, Boeing, for flight simmers, I feel you get a lot more out of it. It's more exciting. A lot more things to manage and things that can go wrong. MFS pilot ILS Zulu. With no transition. We just did it a couple of minutes ago, so rewind the stream a few minutes and you'll see us putting in all of the arrival data. And then just copy what we've input there. Nice bit in the moment of calm in the cruise. Takes all the pressure away. Once you've got in the cruise, you can just enjoy it for a little while. Great. Next couple of streams, well, it'll probably be Sunday. When do I finish nights? What day is it today? It's Friday, Saturday, so Sunday. I think the next live stream's most likely going to be Monday and then Tuesday, I think. I'll try and stream on Sunday if I can. Depends on how this set of night shifts go, how tired I become and all that sort of stuff. So we'll see where we can go. But those of you in the members lounge, those of you illuminated in green in the live chat, do head to the club lounge in Discord. We'll put something together, we'll come up with a route. I reckon we need to dust off the BA 146 again, do some Osprey ops in that somewhere, or we get back into the Fenix A320 for a little while. MFS pilot, absolutely not. Yeah, let's hope not. Green peoples. Almost as green as the pea soup emoji. Out of the way there already, blasting along Europe. With a crosswind to contend with too. Very good. We're going to be flying over Frankfurt, Dusseldorf and Cologne, all of which have got approach controllers online. But we won't be speaking to any of those. We'll most likely remain on Unicom for the remainder of today. Unless of course controller appears out of nowhere and gives us some ATC. Orbex, those of you who aren't sort of following all the other different bits over social media, Orbex are, well, basically today have launched their Fly July event. Ashley's put a thing on the Discord server actually. If you fly into or out of Brisbane between today and the 7th of July, each flight is an entry into the draw. Not sure what you win though. Let me find out. To win, it's a chance to win some exciting Orbex products and Volanta premium subscriptions. So it's to tell you what is up for grabs. But it sounds like we might be able to. Eligibility prizes and events can be found on our forum. Let's see. It's on the Valanta, Discord. MPS Gaming, you're most welcome. Oh, Badger, very nice. Off to Scotland to see a house. So are you up sticks completely, moving up north into Scotland, or are you from Scotland? What's the situation there? Calvin. By the way, those of you who are Australian in the live chat, we now in the UK have your Cadbury's Caramilk, is it, I think? And I'm very tempted to try some. What's it like? What's it like, and what does it taste like? And is it good or is it absolutely awful? They're marketing it here as like the holy grail of chocolate in Australia. Oh, you know what I forgot? Route plan. Hopefully I've not broken my flight plan manager thingy. Oh wow, Night Shepherd is saying it's amazing. Gav's saying it's awesome. Don't sleep on it, it will sell out. Apparently it's permanently thinged here. It's going to be a new product that's permanently in the UK market. You know what, on my night shift tonight, Caramilk's the best thing ever, Noah says. Oh god. Okay, yeah, for my night shift tonight, I will go and buy some from shop somewhere. I've not planned it that far yet. I'll go and find some, I'll buy some, and I'll put a picture of it on Discord to show that I've eaten it. Or eating it. And then I'll tell you how good I think it is. John, yeah, landing rate monitor. I forgot to put the new route in. You know, you go map route plan, add the plan in. How we're doing up front. ...131 miles to top of descent. Fixes are in. Legs are in, and we've checked those as well. We've fiddled with the discontinuities to just remove or reduce our speed through some of this star. And the descent forecasts are in as well, so that's all good and done. Neil's had it in Australia as well, nice. Oh, definitely not parrot milk, John. Can they produce milk? I'm not sure. I have to Google that now. That's another thing I need to do over night shift tonight. One of the weirdest things that I can think of. Noah, welcome on board. Thank you for subscribing. Badger, wow, that's a huge move. Southport to Scotland. A particular part of Scotland that you're looking at, or is it just anywhere in Scotland? Barra. Maybe you should move to Barra. You get to actually do the flight onto the beach. Good afternoon, blown up. Look at that down below. How fantastic. Clouds just look phenomenal, don't they, now, in the sim? It's had its critics, Microsoft Flight Simulator. It still does, but Good grief, it's very, very good at what it does nowadays. Part and parcel because of the incredible aircraft that we get to enjoy now as well. Sure, it still has its problems, but they've already had, in the latest development cycle that was today, I think, actually, or yesterday, they've already confirmed Sim Update 10, the weather APIs are going to be released to developers. So from over the next couple of months, once Sim Update 10 has arrived, we get to look forward to the CRJ being updated with the new weather radar system, the PMDG 737 product lines being updated with the weather radar system. I'm sure Flabawa will quickly create one as well. And Phoenix will have a weather system at some point in the future. I'm not sure if they've discussed it much. Air Badger, nice. Cleaner air, more countryside, and a more relaxed lifestyle. Sounds great. If we go to Valanta, you can see our routing back. We're just there. So just over, well, almost at the halfway point on our route today. If we look at the grey line though, which you could just about see, you can see our departure routing over the Netherlands, which is our outbound flight we've just done. This greyed outline, which hopefully you can see on your screen as well. Intersecting over Düsseldorf, north of Frankfurt, and then over Nuremberg, before heading in on the approach. Now that's the circling approach we did. So if we look at this grey line, that's kind of where the mouse is at the moment. You can see this was all on RNAV. We couldn't even hand fly any of this because of how bad it was, but the RNAV did a beautiful job following the approach wonderfully there. Looks very neat, doesn't it? And there's our departure heading up and out, which is our current magenta line. Awesome stuff. Aaron, nice, flying into Rotterdam from Gatwick to meet us. We'll see you there. Enjoy the weather, it's pretty awful. We'll do a refresh of the meta as we get closer as well, so we make sure we know we've got the latest up-to-date weather prior to hitting top of descent, as it requires in our checklist. $80 miles to top of descent almost. Nighthawk, wow, had to divert to Munich and manually land after the autopilot went berserk on final at Salzburg. So was that a combination that you were in the Flubberwire A32NX, weren't you? Was that a combination of the weather being so bad and therefore then also you using fuel trying to get it sorted, or was it just the aeroplane broke? John, yeah, you were in the PMDG 737 as well, weren't you? It handled the RNAV incredibly well. Where are we coming up towards at the moment? So if we look down here, maybe if we go to this screen, maybe that one. Nuremberg's down there, I think, but maybe we're further along than we realise. Ah, it's Frankfurt. Frankfurt's actually underneath all this cloud. See, I find the LNAV in this aeroplane very, very good. PMDG, I thought, have done a very, very good job with it, but they've been talking a lot recently about an LNAV version 2 that they're creating, specific to work very well inside msfs, and they've said that this 600 version will get it upon release. So it's under testing at the moment. The PMDG have also said that when the 600 is released, because that will have LNAV 2.0, the 700 variant, which is what we're enjoying at the moment, will also get updated to include that as well. Really exciting. So we'll have to test it out on a combination of RNAV approaches, ILS approaches, and that sort of thing to really see how it can see how it handles it all. Rotterdam METAR then is now 230 degrees at 10 knots for the wind, variable between 190 degrees and 270 degrees. Weather's improving, it seems. All the nines, scattered cloud now 3,400 feet above ground level and scattered at 4,800. Temperature's now 19 degrees Celsius with the dew point. The spread's increased. The dew point's now 11 degrees Celsius, so QNH 1018, and no significant change expected. Doc, welcome back. How many subscribers are we short of 20,000, folk? We almost there? Oh, we were near to 19,600 pre-stream starting. Hopefully we've inched a bit closer. Very keen to get this group flight prepped and get the giveaway done. 018. Alright, well we've pre-tuned the ILS frequencies into nav 1 and 2. Let's pop these on. Actively start to think about tracking them, and the course 1 and 2 are set as well. Landing calculations, performance wise, we're going to think about runway 24. Lap 30, auto brake 3. What we're doing is the Reckon 1 Alpha, no, Reckon 3 Romeo. ILS 24 Zulu. So we're going to go direct from POM to Atvit at 2000. The glide slope. Missed approach for this is climb on track 236 degrees to Romeo Delta 214, the 2000 feet in form ATC at RD 214, turn left to Dofmu and hold. Let's auto brake 3. Expected approach speed 128 knots. It's probably going to be a little bit higher than that. Planned 50.8 tons for weight. Jesse, welcome on board. Yeah, 400 somewhat. We've got a little way to go still then. Doc, I'm finding it does work quite well in most instances, but sometimes it could be a little bit aloof, but I think that's a wider MSFS issue than the aircraft itself. Jeff, any 20,000 subscriber festivities plans? Yeah, we've got a decent giveaway. PMDG are going to give us 2 licenses, really generous of them. 2 licenses for a winner each to choose between the 700 and the 600 variant of their 737 product line for MSFS. So there's 2 prizes right there. Very exciting. And then we're going to be looking at 50 euros worth of Contrail gift vouchers to give away as well, courtesy of the folks at the Contrail web shop. We'll split those into various values, like 10 euros, 5 euros, so we can maximise how many vouchers we can give out, and make sure there's still a decent quantity as well. So, yeah, really cool. That's about 200 quid's worth of products to give away straight away there. Awesome prices, I'm sure you guys agree. Once we hit that target, We'll run the giveaway with a bit of a group flight as well. And we will celebrate 20,000 subscribers in style. 199, 104, 114. No circling. We've got the minimums already preset, and then in here, gross weight. So we've got, that's the correct frequency, the correct course, and the runway data looks accurate too. Wanted 50.8 tons. That changes that to 124. So we'll select that. That's now in the box. Calvin, yeah, I basically asked them, is there a way that I can purchase a license for somebody as a gift to give away? And they basically reached out and said, actually, we've enjoyed your PMDG 737 content. We would be honoured to offer you the ability to give away 2 licenses on us, on behalf of PMDG. So as it's kind of them thanking the community as well. So really grateful to Robert Randazzo and the PMDG team for offering that. It's really kind of them. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a giveaway for the channel reaching 20,000 subscribers, which is of course a huge achievement. Really exciting, and I'm thankful to every one of you for watching the channel, for us to be able to get this far. It is remarkable. Never thought the channel would be thinking about 20,000 subscribers at this point in time, ever. But it's a giveaway for the community as well as it is PMDG giving products away to the community too. So it's a wider celebration, if you like. Here we go. We've triggered dock with the explain chat. Blue, absolutely. Yeah. It's a very mature, well-balanced company, and they try and get it right every time. Not saying they always do. That's why I said they try and get it right every time. Of course, the latest stuff with all the mod issues that people have been complaining about, well, they've changed their EULA to accommodate for it. So that's a good thing, and it should be welcomed. It should be thanked. Now, interestingly, I'm flying towards, where are we going? Towards Amsterdam at the moment. My frames are starting to creep away every now and again and just suffer. Top of descent coming up rapidly now. Prepped up on us. EHRD for final metal check. QNH 1018, that's set. Arrow set. Ref set. Reset MCP altitude down to 2. Let's try and aim for a continuous descent to 2,000 feet. And that should take us right to the tip of the glide slope. $13 miles to top of descent there. Oh, so legs page is ready, approach refs page is ready. We want auto brake reset in the box. Blown up, yeah. So this group flight most likely is going to be on VATSIM, I think. We usually run it on Join FS, but I want to do something with the PMDG 737 in this. So I think we'll do some airliner style ops on VATSIM to celebrate the 20,000 subscriber giveaway thing. We'll run the giveaway at the same time as the stream's happening. We just got to think of a route that's not necessarily going to have any ATC. So I'm thinking something like crossing over Brazil into Santos Dumont in Rio de Janeiro for that really difficult approach and landing there. So we could do something juicy like that. Calvin, that's exactly what it was. Yeah. That's exactly what it was. And they were only trying to enforce that to protect their license conditions and the contract with Boeing. Sadly, a lot of people failed to understand or appreciate that, and had a wider sense of entitlement. But it is what it is. Instead, what PMDG have done is reached out to loads of lawyers and got it all sorted out. But lawyers cost money, folks. Don't forget that. So potentially, those people kicking off and complaining about the product line. This is only a hypothetical thing, by the way. I'm not saying this is the case. More of an opinion. But you think about, lawyers are exceptionally expensive people. They earn a hell of a lot of money, but they charge huge fees as well, especially the higher level, sort of barrister level folk in corporate law and all that sort of thing. So you think about that, they're probably going to charge something silly like £1,000 an hour roughly, probably even higher than that, if they're not already held on a retainer for work. But depending on how much work's involved, means the fee increases. So the more work, the higher the solicitor's fee or the legal costs of changing the EULA. So PMDG would have had a bit of a hit financially for trying to get it changed. Now what does that mean? Well, potentially they would be in their right to say, well, look, you lot have created this problem and given us a whole load of flack we've had to then solve. It's cost us X amount of £1 million, and therefore we need to increase our product line price. So we've got to think of it as a wider, some people kicked off very quickly about it all. You've got to think of the bigger picture. A lot of those mods that people were complaining about were just downright awful anyway. Horrible texture work and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Bigger picture and all that. Top of descent, horrible frames at the moment, weirdly enough. I don't know if it's because we're flying near Amsterdam Schiphol. This is why I never really fly out of Schiphol, because performance is horrendous there. With the premium, is it the premium deluxe Asobo scenery? Should have been installed it for today really. We need a decent payware Amsterdam Schiphol airport scenery with nice optimizations. But down we go nevertheless. I'd imagine frames will suffer a little bit more. Nice to see the cloud break though. We've actually got much better cloud coverage, a bit more sparse than before. So we might get some nice visibility into Rotterdam. There's Flevo already, there's our decel point. Flevo at 7,000, don't forget. What's this range on? 80. Yo it. No worries. I was hoping you might have been able to fly along with us, but all good. I won't be able to wait around too much for people flying behind, just FYI. I need to be getting ready for work in the next 30 minutes, so I'm pushed for time. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, exactly. It is a mega airport to create, though. I guess probably one of the biggest issues is going to be optimizing it to work nicely, but hopefully we're not waiting too long for it. John, oh yeah, weird. At least you tried it though. Haha, yeah. Can't have been bad as my Groningen approaching the 146 though. Although you guys missed that slightly, didn't you? Because the internet went down. MPS gaming, exactly, but a lot of the airport's MM simulations have done are very small, with the exception of a couple like Dalaman. But they seem to be angling more towards very small airfields at the moment, which are of course then a lot easier to optimise. By contrast, Amsterdam have got all those runways. Is it something like 5 or 6 runways, all with ILS approaches to configure into the data of the airport itself for the sim to constantly think about. There's VORs, NDBs, all the other stuff going on to simulate whilst you're around the airport. Bit of turbulence on final, Leroy says. Look forward to it, should be good. Now you can see here we're actually running away slightly. The aeroplane's trying to catch the VNAV, but the speed's running away a little bit, so we will probably require a little bit of drag. We'll just monitor the speed though, to see what it tells us. At the moment I don't mind it running away too much. Yoep says, after flying the Phoenix A320 for a little while, I have to say that I find the PMDG just more enjoyable to fly, admittedly because it's a Boeing. There's more involvement, isn't there? So I think just generally you can enjoy it a little bit more. Let's get speed brake out into flight detent, shall we, folks? Rock and roll. Time to come in to land. Drag required. Certainly does, blown up. Wesley, yo yo. Hello to you. I did say hello to you last stream. You must have missed it. Incredible. A year and a half as a member on the channel, Wesley. Thank you for all of your ongoing support. That's really nice of you. Appreciate it. Like you say, only a couple more months till 2 years of memberships. Incredible. I think then you go to a different colour at 2 years, I believe. Yeah, I think you do. I think you go to completely gold, a gold badge. Yeah, Doc, nice and slippery in the air, isn't it? Though now, we don't need so much speed brake. I was enjoying the view too much. 22 knot crosswind, straight across the aeroplane. Lots going on. So we've got minimum set, we've got ref set for approach, and we've got our standby UNH set 2. Have a quick look on Volanta to see who we've got around us. Make sure we're not bunching up on too many people. We've got Night Shepherd up ahead. He looks like he's over Flevo almost. Can't see anyone else. Got a couple of people behind us. Night Shepherd's in front. Whoop whoop. How far in front? Got a few here on TCAS. I don't know who that aircraft is there, but they potentially coming towards us actually on a converging course. So we're gonna have to watch this one. He's creeping ever so slightly closer. So that's one to watch. We are on VNAV descent, VNAV path. We've had a lot of fun today indeed, John. Yeah, bang on. It's been great. It's been juicy. That's 20 miles away and converging. So we around that decel point is where that aeroplane's going to meet our path. They're descending as well. So I wonder if they're inbound. Ah. No, that can't be correct. So that's Air France. Not that aeroplane. Not any of them. Ah well. Doesn't make any sense. To be fair, it doesn't help that Schiphol is pretty much on the nose actually underneath this cloud. Speed limit point coming up. Lost the VNAV path somewhat, apparently, but I don't think we actually really have. Let's flick across onto the ILS frequencies now. We don't need to worry about tracking the VORs. Although I'll leave them active in case we do a missed approach, and then all we've got to do is flick the transfer boxes down here, and then it will instantly be tracking the ILSs, the VORs for the information to help us with go around. There's Pam. Crew 10, landing lights on, runway turn off lights on. Let's pop the logo light back on as well. And the seatbelt signs are on. Decelerating it down to 250 now, holding 10,000 feet. So we're letting the VNAV do all of this. Yeah, no worries, buddy. Thank you very much. Thanks for flying along the first leg as well. Good effort. Hopefully we don't get any TARA stuff with the TCAS, because there's a lot of blips on the radar ahead of us. MFS pilot, good stuff, thank you. Let's get rid of the music now, below 10. MFS pilot, look on Volante to the circle around Flevo to let you in. No. I can't see you at Flevo on... actually, hold on, is that you? Problem with Volante is it refreshes every couple of minutes. EHAM, EHAM, EHAM. Oh yeah, I can see it behind us now at Tenley. Probably good. Oh, Noah, nice. Back on VNAV. That's all looking good. That's all looking good. Let's arm the spoilers, because I'm not preempting us needing much drag at the moment for this next phase of the descent. But we will just monitor things. Want to see Flevo at 7,000. We should level off here. The next constraint. Beautiful work. VNAV's doing a wonderful job. Rotterdam traffic, Transavia 23 Charlie, Boeing 737-700 with QNH 1018 inbound. The ILS Zulu runway 24 via Reckon 3 Romeo, currently Flevo flight level 70 inbound. Rotterdam traffic.
Rotterdam traffic dot Freight 117 with you as well in front of that last call, just about at Pam. Currently going down to 2,000 for ILS runway 24. Rotterdam traffic.
Decel point, looks the airplane's now slowing us down towards 180. The green circles, they're fixed rings. So what we've done, I've actually put in, what is it, RSV, which is the 3-letter code for the ILS. So I've put that in, and I've asked for a 6 mile and a 10 mile fixed ring, basically. Or, like Neil said, you could put in the, I think you could put in runway 24 as a waypoint to get the range circle as well. Oh, actually, we're at flaps up speed. That's fine. We'll keep it at that. Passing Flevo, now we should begin a descent again to continue down towards 2000s. It's at 236 on this moment. Not long to go now, folks. Down at Rotterdam, very short runway. Remember, auto brake 3, and we've got the RDPresets Rotterdam version 2 for msfs installed as well. So, as ever with all of the stuff shown today, if you fancy any of the scenery, the livery, or the aircraft shown, just head to the links in the description and you'll find it all there. Probably about 5 minutes to landing now. There's little wind farms all the way up there. Very, very, very flat part of the world here. Criminal, the yoke, yeah, there you go.
Rotterdam traffic, Golf 3117 on final runway 24 ILS.
And we've got an aircraft ahead of us here. I don't know who that is.
Amsterdam traffic information, Alpine 72 Mike Romeo. Passing 2,900 feet down to 2,000 feet. Continuation 214 on the ILS 27.
Looks like they're converging. Inbound PAM as well. Something for us to watch. Keep an eye on. Okay, to the checks then. Landing lights and everything are on at the moment. All we need to worry about when we get below transition level in another 2,000 feet is to go to local QNH, which is 1018. Nav course and frequency. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go standard pressure now, and now we're going to be above VNAV path, so the aeroplane could do a bit of work. We're going to descend below 4,000 anyway. Nav course and frequency checked. We're going to extend flaps within limits over time. Yep, hello to you, saying Rotterdam's my hometown. Fantastic. Looking out the window then for you. I can confirm it's flat there. By the way, the weather is almost exactly real life now. That's incredible. Very, very good. Ship Beast, welcome. MFSF pilot can see us from the cockpit. That's rather worrying. That sounds like you're giving me another colonoscopy or something. I know. Oh my god. Yep. You're right above us. I can see the blip there on the map.
Rotterdam traffic, Osprey 117 on final for runway 24. Current speed is 150, 20 mile per hour.
MFS pilot, I don't know if I'll be able to vacate that quickly.
Traffic information.
Usually we've got to be about 2 minutes apart, or 1 minute apart from each other.
Correct, 27. That's where that.
We've got one ahead of us. One up here somewhere as well. There's one on final, which is just a couple of miles ahead, which is why I can't speed up too much, because we're kind of matched for speed. Yeah, yes. Tell me if I need to look out the left or the right hand window. Selling us drag required, but that's because I've gone to in speed intervention mode. At the moment, I'm quite happy. We don't want it. Good grief! You've literally triggered my TARA now. MFS pilot, you need more separation.
Climb, crossing, climb. Climb, crossing, climb.
Near it does, yes, but RDPresets has created a payware version. We're getting all sorts of traffic warners here. MSFS pilot, you're triggering my TARA.
Adjust vertical speed. Adjust. Clear of conflict.
Oh, thank goodness. For now, for now. But now he's... where is he? Up here now, I think, apparently. See him? Oh. It's fine, but you've got to keep your distance as best as you can. You've got to try and hold. You've got to think further ahead. I'm going to decelerate further for the approach. We've got one ahead of us, so I can't go much faster. So we've got to balance all of that in our little gravy train of people flying along. GTA pilot. Still got a little way to go before we worry about any of the other bits. I'm going to hold our speed at 193 as fast as we can. Yeah, we do need eyebrow windows back, don't we? I wonder if we can... Still got another minute or so. PMDG set up FS actions. Nopes. Aircraft. Equipment. Like these. Whoa, look at that. I've never used these before. God, that looks really old school, doesn't it? God. I can see why the airlines like to plug those now. Yeah, I think MSFS pilot's gone over that way somewhere anyway. Sergio, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing to the channel.
Rotterdam traffic, Osprey 117, 10 mile final, about to establish or turn to establish on ILS, runway 24, Rotterdam traffic. Also for following aircraft, current speed for myself 150.
Yeah, Roger, Transavia 23 Charlie. Yes. It's the MFS pilot mod. That's cool. I like it. It's rather bizarre to see a lot of light above now as well. Never used them before. I mean, that's the one thing I quite like about this. You can just change it on the fly. Straight away, boom. Actually, I want eyebrows. Gimme, gimme. And over there is Schiphol. And there's our Transavia little eyebrow windows as well. People looking at the screenshots post this are going to be really confused. An A320 is flying directly towards us on Valanta. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, he didn't mean to get that close. It's all good. Back on the VNAV path now. .109, 109, course and course. Rotterdam traffic, Transavia 23 Charlie, now 15 miles north of the field, the ILS. Zulu approach runway 24 will report established. Transavia 23 Charlie for Rotterdam traffic.
Rotterdam traffic, Osprey 117 established.
So, speed brake is armed.
Visibility is much better this time around.
We're keeping our speed up a little bit. Neil, that's a very good question actually. I'm not sure the answer to it. I've only got the link for them direct. Go flap 5. Oops. Fat fingers, back on LNAV. Approach mode. Armed. Do 160 till 4. Light Shepherd's a couple of miles ahead of us. MFS pilot, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine. Honestly. These things happen. It's Unicom, it's difficult because we don't have controllers telling us vectors where to go and what to do, etc. It's all good. Rish, hello to you, welcome. The more the merrier, welcome. Hello to you as well. Hope you guys are having a good week. Single channel. Let's go. Locks active. Glide slopes armed. Starting to creep as well. Just there on the PFD. We are 160 till 4. Let's go flap 10. Got to think about approach. There's the runway as well actually. 2-3. Let's go gear down. And CMDB is active as well. Gear down. We'll go flap 15. Engine start mode switches already both set to continuous. And landing gear is confirmed down 3 green. CMDB is engaged. We'll go flaps set for landing in a second. Go around altitude needs to be set as well, which is going to be 2000. Already set. And autopilot auto throttle as required. Rotterdam traffic Transavia 23 Charlie is established 7 miles, runway 24. Let's come off speed intervention now. We'll let the aeroplane reduce speed to reference speeds. Actually, we'll go flap 25. 6 miles. We'll wait till 4. We'll go flap 30 for our final approach. And then we're all set up, configured to land. Look at that. Such a great looking aeroplane, isn't it? Let's see.
Rotterdam traffic, Osprey 117 is clear of runway 23, taxi to go.
Yeah, exactly, Alberto. It's all fine. Final stage, flap 30. That's all looking good. Got a nice 17 knot headwind. We're going to let the flaps stabilise. They're green now actually, so they're already set. Let's hand fly. My throttles. My controls. That's my aeroplane. Avsim, hello, welcome back. A little bit above on the glide slope. To be proactive in getting that back. So I'll reduce the throttle, that basically lets the aeroplane sink. So we've just sunk back down to 2 red, 2 white on the Pappies, but you've got to anticipate then capturing it, so the aeroplane then settles on the glide slope, otherwise you can go above or below.
500.
Criminal, well that's your problem, not his.
Traffic at Rotterdam, could you tell me real quick what I show up with the model matching? I'm in the stand right behind you.
A little bit of power here. The tailwind's just dropped, sorry, the headwind's just dropped off. What that's done is it's made the aeroplane sink slightly below the glide slope. Almost like a very minor headwind. Actually, rather variable here.
Okay, cool, thanks. I guess that's way off, but whatever.
50.
Put it back.
30. 20. 10.
Hold in the flare. Wait until she settles on the runway. Down we go. Reverse green. 218. 107. And we'll vacate off this higher speed exit. Off the brakes. Yeah, Kurt, exactly. Rotterdam traffic, Transavia 23 Charlie's vacated at Victor 3, taxi to gates.
Welcome back.
So that's all good. Bring the flaps up. Spoilers, retract, auto brake, off. Might as well whack the flight directors off as well. Ground, sorry, engine start switches back to off position. Much better weather for the approach here into this today.
Traffic, Osprey 121, established localizer.
Just literally waiting for the ILS now. Cracking bit of scenery for Rotterdam. Got one on approach. Hey, there he is. Beautifully timed, MFS pilot. Good effort. Very nicely done. Good landing. Docks, it's all ramps. So you basically just drive in and shut down and you get steps. We might as well park up on the same one we left from. Centralise the nose wheel. Yeah, that's the other thing. Low cost carriers don't want to pay for jetties. Steps are far cheaper. Charlie 2 is where we begun today's live stream. Much better than the pea soup in Salzburg. Yeah, complete contrast, isn't it? Good landing, MFS pilot. Yeah, all they literally need, as Neil's saying here, is a set of steps, and then once they've got the steps, they just need. There he is on final there. We've all ended up quite nicely spaced here, so let's increase the speed of this a little bit. Don't need to worry about follow mode. Just increase that. Give me shelter. Good question, I'm not sure. Oh my god, they're back again. How strange. It's just constant, isn't it? Honestly. If only we could put a bullet through some of them. Or job done. They're reported. He was off the runway. You know what, I never find out what happens with these reports that we do. Whenever we flag these comments for review for breaching the community guidelines and all the rest of it, which I'm expected to do or I get in trouble, we never find out actually what happens with them. Stream's official, we've been bot raided. Yeah. Hey, look at that. The Osprey livery looks pretty sweet with the eyebrows, doesn't it? You're talking to me. That looks pretty decent. Right, where are we? So, engine TCPs are looking good, APU's bleeding, and not physically, thankfully. Oh, you know what? Taxi lights need to go off. They are off already. Logo light off. And shut down. FS actions. Let's get the ground services ready with the chocks. We'll request ground power. Stairs. We'll extend the air stairs. We'll open the door. We'll get to 0 passengers.
Juliet Mike is 3 mile final, runway 24. Rotterdam traffic.
We go back a page to go to the doors section to open the left door. Request the passenger bus. 1, 2, 3, 4. So ground power is in position. We can now go to ground power. Although I think this means now that everyone else is going to get ground power on their aeroplanes. Let's debleed the APU and then switch her off. MFS pilot, it's absolutely fine. You know what? It's the first time we've seen it actually trigger, so it's good to hear it, good to see how it works. By the way, every PMDG 737 you're about to fly in, or sea fly in is now going to have the air stairs and the door open because that's what I've selected. So it's looking weird. It will look weird, but it's because it's replicating what I've selected on the model. So chocks, steps, and door, which is why this guy's got them out already. It's a weird phenomenon that happens. In fact, gets affected by all AI aircraft on the channel. Or in the sim, I should say, not on the channel. So the Flabberwire, the Phoenix, everything else does the same thing too. That actually looks good with the air stairs, the Osprey livery. Zipping around over Rotterdam then. Where are we? We're in a different little section here. Oh, he's overrun. Ding 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 ding. All the fire trucks.
Guide.
Absolutely brilliant.
Reverses didn't work.
So APU switched off, we can start deplaning because the bus is here now, and we can start unloading the forward bags.
Traffic, Osprey 722 on the A50 ILS onshore final runway.
We are, look at that.
24.
Actually, I need to turn the anti-collision light off.
Rotterdam traffic, Osprey 27 Juliet Mike has vacated the runway at the end of the runway.
Bad luck, John. Who knows, I might join you.
Oh, you wouldn't believe this. I've got a minus 45.
That's all that matters.
Did we go over 300?
Look at that. Swish. Try and get a couple of screenshots of some folk here. Yeah, we paid for the whole runway. Oh, now look at that. There she is. Who's that? In the beautiful Osprey World Cargo BA146. Legend. Looking good right there. There's a screenshot. Can you use VATSIM and Xbox Electric Cloud? Sadly not, no, unfortunately not. John's just driving back on the local A roads in the 737.
Rotterdam traffic, Osprey 722, 5 miles. Landing runway 24.
I think this is going to be the last one. In fact, yeah, this is the last one that I can watch at a push. So, I mean, I've got to leave for work in about 20 minutes, which is pushing it. So I'll try and watch this last one. MFS Pilot, thanks for flying along today. Hope you've had a good time. John, Gav, the Night Shepherd, David as well. Who else have we had fly along? Yoep elsewhere. Had quite a few. Hopefully you've all enjoyed it. It's been challenging, very challenging, especially into Salzburg. That was tough, but really fun. PMDG 737 worked wonderful. Alberto, cheers buddy. There we go. There's Gav on approach, I think. Thank you to everybody who's liked today's live stream as well, and welcome to all of our new subscribers. It's great to see so many members in the live chat as well. Lots of members. Max as well, Absim, thank you for joining the channel as a member, really appreciate it. And Gav, your super chat earlier on too, really appreciate all the support from all of you guys and everybody else in the live chat, watching wherever you are in the world. Really appreciate it as well. It's been a great stream. Oops, into the building we go. Nice scenery on both ends as well. This Rotterdam scenery from RDPresets is very nice indeed. Really, really very nice. So definitely recommend it if you are looking for this sort of scenery somewhere a little bit more regional in Europe to fly. Thanks to everyone who flew along, and I hope to see you over the next couple of days as well. I'm off for a night shift. The pain of a night shift, trust me, it takes me quite a few days to recover. But yeah, in the meantime, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you very soon. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Take care. Thanks for flying.
Lovely, Gab.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Pointed.
Cheers, Roy. Cheers, boss.
Thanks,
Yeah, see you, boss.